All right, well, we'll welcome everybody back with us today for session 6 of Embers of the Empire, homebrew version. Embers of the Imperium, sorry, homebrew version. And does anyone want to give us a recap of last time? It's been a few weeks now, so we'll see if you guys remember, or I can just do it.
I remember nothing.
I remember
Bowie.
I remember
Bowie.
cabbages.
Yeah. So you
I
guys
I remember a
were
massacre, or in the past.
Yes, there was a massacre of his parents in the past. So basically, last time you guys noticed that your freighter, your freighter had been damaged and it had been drifted off course. You went to this planet in the hopes of you found a signal coming from this planet, kind of a help signal. So you kind of went here with almost the last bit of your fuel, hoping to find something you can use to fix your engine. But you guys had to make a cargo ship parachute thingamajigger to get down onto the surface, where you met Barry, who told you about the human settlement, who were all bad people who had killed his parents and stolen all of his cabbages. And you guys met the settlers and salvaged some parts with them. And when we finally left, you had introduced Barry to the settlers, and he has gone in to live with them. Most of them have been shuttled up to the ship, and Pasha and Bruce have already gone up. And Bruce, I believe, was helping Deeda get the engine back together.
Yep.
And then at the time that we left, Lazardo and Pockets are still back down on the planet. So as we're starting here, we have Pasha and Bruce up on the freighter, and we have Pockets and Lazardo down in the settlement on the planet.
Always split the party.
Always split the party.
It's the safest way to do any adventuring.
Well, to be fair, in this game, like D&D, like generally the counters are set to be balanced for the party. Well, I know I'm not doing that so much here anyway, so.
In this game, all of the encounters are completely unbalanced.
Yeah.
They're designed to kill you.
Well, I take it. Well, it takes, for me, immersion wise, your enemies aren't sitting there thinking, "Well, this is really unfair."
Yeah, you two go back to camp. This is not fair.
Well, my first thing to do is to activate my team radio so that the rest of the crew can hear me.
Okay.
What are our objectives again?
I think we completed it. We're getting the ship back in running order, right?
Well, you should
Yeah.
come on down and pick us up.
Wow, geez, that's a long trip. I don't know about that.
We can't-
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. We don't really have a pilot, so
We can't afford any more cargo containers.
if only
yeah.
we had a pilot.
Bruce is just going to be helping on the repairs, so I'm not
Okay.
going to make another trip back to the
Yeah,
planet.
no problem. So,
All right.
is Pasha flying down, or
Well, I'm not really good at flying.
Yeah,
but
Marie-
I'll go for it. Sure.
Marie? Well, one of the
Who
others.
flew it up?
They do have a pilot up there if you want.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll go
The ship
down
has a
and
pilot.
pick
Yeah.
up whatever remains.
Marie can grab the shuttle, come down and pick you guys up.
It's
Well,
not
while
like
that-
she's flying the freighter at this point. So
Yeah, it's
That's-
just in orbit.
Get some of
So,
these cabbages. We'll repopulate Mechatol Rex with cabbages.
Yeah. Well, Barry did give you a couple.
Yeah.
But one thing's going to happen. So while you guys so Posh, are you going down with the shuttle to pick up the others, or no?
Well, I'm gonna hope to land the shuttle, but not go.
Okay. But if you're on the shuttle, that might
Yeah.
matter. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope. I'm definitely going.
Okay.
down.
So Bruce, you're up working on the engine. Now there's some external work that needs to be done, which is very handy because rather than Deeda having to get on an enviro suit, you can just go out and maybe do some spot welding and stuff like
yeah,
that.
I'll grab my fusion cutter, which
Yeah.
I think can you use to help weld things as well.
Yeah, so it's the repairs aren't actually that difficult. The basic has to do is just patching and rerouting, some energy and stuff like that. But when you're out there on the external part of the hull, There's going to be various like vents. They don't lose air from the ship. Everything's recycled. But they will have kind of spots where the hulls, it'll have to emit heat and stuff like that, right? So you're going to hear something as you're working on the hull, working on the engine on the outside. And I'm going to send it in the chat here.
Oh,
Hear something?
Spooky space ghosts.
spooky, scary skeletons.
Yeah. From space.
All right,
That
so
scream. In
send it
space.
just in that. Oh,
That
hold
was
on.
the only sound that
I'm
was
trying to
traveling,
copy
though.
paste it, but it's not pasting. Give me one more second. Okay, copy.
That's a good question. Can ghosts scream in space? You'd think so.
Why
Because
is
they
it
don't
not-
have any. They don't have any lungs, so.
I hope I don't have to type this whole thing out. I might just have to read it out. I'm gonna try one more time here. It's not pasting. Okay.
You can send through Facebook if that works.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. I'll try one more time. If it doesn't work, I'll do it on Facebook. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna send it to you in Facebook here.
My body is ready.
Okay.
Space stuff. is
Formatting might be a little off,
happening.
but
Oh my goodness. All right. This is when I copy and paste it into a text document so I can read it better.
yeah, that's probably a good idea. All right. So while he's reading that, does anybody else want to do anything special?
I might ask the people on the planet. Just talk a little bit about the space junk. So, hey, so I noticed just around the planet, there's a lot of debris, I believe is the word. Y'all
Yeah.
ever see anybody else crash land or anything else ever?
Well, we were two ships originally. So the one you've seen crashed on the surface, where we picked up those coils. The other one pretty much was just obliterated in space. It's probably got parts still orbiting up there, I would imagine.
That's interesting
Yeah.
and relevant to my interests. There's also no space octopus or tree octopuses up in space.
There
I
are
don't
no.
think.
Well, as far as we know, I'm going to be honest, we haven't had a chance to spend too much time in orbit since we got here.
That's fair. Maybe we'll have to do a little perusal, a little roundabout before we head off then.
Yeah, I'm into that. And also that the crash landed ship, like how much of that has been explored recently?
Well, we pretty much, over the years, we've looted pretty much what we could, for survival purposes. Originally, we were actually going to settle inside the hull. It's just that part of the jungle was particularly dangerous. So we ended up, building our settlement down here. And I think some creatures have taken up residence inside the hull. So, we kind of just let them have it at this point. We took what we could use.
I
Yeah,
see.
I think going back there doesn't sound super appealing.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. If you want to move in, I mean, it wouldn't make a bad home, but yeah, you'd be fighting your way out every morning.
Yeah. Those octopus get way too friendly for my liking.
Oh yeah, I would say probably half of our original crew was killed by those things. That's why we chopped down all the tall trees in this area. We don't let any overgrowth over the walls.
Smart.
Is
They never come down and go on the ground?
I mean, I'm sure they do. We've never seen it. Whenever they hunt from the tops of the trees, we haven't really witnessed them on the ground. At least I haven't.
Is the shuttle still in transit to the planet?
Yeah, so I would say at this point, Pasha's still, well, Marie would be on there too, heading down to the surface. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to relay the I'm going to relay the information that I received from this communication to Pasha.
Okay.
as he's heading down to the planet. I'm not going to beam it down to the planet. So how do you want to do that?
Well, I don't know if I have Ken in Facebook, but I can send it to him in Slack. Do you got your Slack ready, Ken?
Yeah, I can open it up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll let Pasha know about it just because I don't want it potentially overheard
Right.
for reasons that Bryant probably knows.
Somebody's talking shit about us, Lazardo.
Marie will hear it.
Yeah, but Marie is part of the freighter, right?
Yeah.
So she's uninvolved with the planet.
Yeah. All right, Ken, I sent it to your Slack.
All right, just a sec.
And Bruce is telling you this very matter-of-factly, as if like he doesn't really want to get involved. Also, I'm not helping. I'm just going to keep repairing the ship because that's
Okay.
the mission.
Yep.
Our radios have gone silent recently, Pockets.
Yes.
What does the team
If
say?
you guys want to do anything while
You're
Ken's
gonna leave
reading
us here?
And I'm
Maybe
going to tell
there's-
Pasha that he may want to inform the rest of
Yeah.
our team once he arrives at the planet's surface.
You might have Barry running over. Pockets.
What's up? What's up, Barry?
Saw a snail in the cabbages.
Was it a big one or a little one? Or...
I picked it up. It's in my hand. It's a little one.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Yeah, look at it. It's got
Oh
a
my God.
shell. It lives inside of there. He was
Oh, it'd be cool
was
if you
in-
could carry
he
your
was
house on your
underneath
back,
one
eh?
of the cabbages, and they picked him up so nobody step on him. I'm gonna go put him outside. And he'll just
Everywhere is
run out
outside
the
here.
front gate.
Maybe find a nice like log or something he can hide
Yeah.
in.
Oh yeah, I'll put him in a really nice place.
You're the best
Don't
friend
put him
that
in the
snails
log with
ever
all
of you.
had.
Just don't put him in the log with the squirmy things.
Yes. Well, that one is now in splinters all over the inside of the settlement.
Along with all the little dead carcasses.
Yeah, all over the place. Which, you know, to be honest, they're probably gathering those up for food.
Yeah. Waste not, want not.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So if there's nothing else, you know, you land the shuttle,
Yeah.
probably outside the settlement.
Yeah,
just outside the walls.
We don't want to destroy any walls going in.
Yeah.
All right, you're all coming with us.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
let's go hop
Barry
on
will
board.
give you a very excited goodbye. Come back and visit sometime, guys. And of course, the settlers,
Goodbye,
you know,
Barry.
there are some remaining that have chosen to stay, but there's probably a remaining few as well that are going to come back up on this trip who will, you know, they're so their farewells to their friends there. And, you know, make sure you come back, come back periodically, set up bring us back a communication device. We can keep in touch, you know. So they want to stay, but they do want certain things from the outside. Ideally,
Right.
some sort of form of communication.
How typical of humanoids.
Yeah.
Picky, right?
All right.
Yeah.
I think I have to do a huddle with my two friends here.
Okay.
Oh, okay. What's up, Pasha?
Bruce sent me something.
Candygram?
Is it good news?
Yeah. Oh, he wrote a whole paragraph out here.
I related verbally to you. I just want that to be clear.
He probably
I didn't like
summarized
write
it.
you a note and just hand it to you in your lunchbox or something.
Brian, you do the voices.
Okay, hold on. What do you want to do? You can just summarize it.
Some of the people that wiped out Barry's family are on our ship. Is that what I got from this? Is that right?
Yeah, it's part of it, yeah. So essentially, we've convinced, I guess the settlement told us that the people who killed Barry's family were killed, but that is not the case. And the people on our ship are worried that Barry might recognize the people who killed his family, and there could be conflict between Barry and the settlement.
And they're
There's
There-
also a fruit poison that they've used to kill off the Ellies in the past, and someone's going to let the settlement know how to make it in case they
Excellent.
decide to kill Barry. And now you know.
There
So-
we go.
So what's the ethical thing to do in this situation? Start killing colonists until one of them confesses?
I don't think that's ethical.
Oh, oh,
We could
I'm sorry.
Start killing colonists and planting mushrooms.
we could talk to Dirk.
Right. We can just take over their minds with fungus and find the correct answers.
Which
I'm
one was
trying to-
Dirk? Was that the guy that took us to the
No, that was Ross. So Dirk is one you haven't interacted with. So that was a name that was overheard in the conversation.
Was Dirk on the ship? Dirk was not on the ship, or we don't know.
I don't think you guys know who he is.
Yeah, because we probably have a bunch of nameless guys, but
Yeah, I mean, I've actually named all of them, but you've only really spoken with like 3 of them.
yeah.
But I named them all just because I know all this stuff comes up.
Yeah, Juanita is on the ship, and she seemed to not be a part of this.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so that's
I'm
one we can spare for
confused.
sure.
I'm confused though. Like, how did Bruce hear this? You were outside the ship? Oh, it was a vent. Okay.
Yeah. I was hanging out by the
Okay.
vents.
Overheard a conversation.
I passed my skullduggery. with all of my ears, I overheard the conversation.
While you were
Sense the
outside the ship.
Yep. This is what the game master told me.
I get it.
You picked up the vibrations.
So
Yeah.
should we
Makes
talk
sense.
to our friend Ross maybe? Because he said to us, he was the one who told us that it was this other commander that did it.
Mm-hmm.
And either he's lying or he doesn't know other people were involved. Maybe we get out the old hammer and pliers and get ready to
That's Lazardo.
take some souvenirs.
I believe the phrase is break a few kneecaps. Is that correct?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we could kill him, and then Lazardo could spawn a baby and put it on his head.
Let's just see if he's willing to talk first. maybe.
Okay. Well, that's a plan too. That's an
But-
alternative.
That
And
does sound
then
like a thing a
implant-
sentient being would do.
Yeah,
who's
I want to
our
talk to
talker?
Ross. Oh,
our
who
talker?
is our talker?
Not me.
Is it Bruce? Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, I'm going
Um,
really dark today. I don't normally do that.
Coercion or something, right?
Well, we could have him.
Depends on
have
your
him-
approach.
Who's
we
got
could
the
have
best
him
will?
interrogate him from orbit.
It'd be
Yeah.
it'd be presence or cunning, depending on what you want to do, right? Because you're either going to use your charm or your coercion or negotiation, right?
Yeah. Oh, pardon me.
Oh, I guess
Well-
coercion is will. Interesting.
I've only been
Yeah.
speaking words for a few years, so I don't think I'm good for this task.
I think we tried
Pasha,
this
what's
with you
your-
at one point, and the interrogation of the freighter crew.
It was fine.
Yeah.
We survived,
Oh, yeah.
therefore it worked. Anything you
Oh.
walk away from was a success.
Yeah. That's a good philosophy.
That's the motto of our team.
Yeah.
All right.
Who wants to do it?
All right. Well, Ross himself probably seems a little slightly even less stressed than when you met him. Still kind of probably frowning or scowling, but he's kind of puttering around. He's got a little like a metal shop. Sort of like a smithy, but not like as old timey, little fabrication shop with some makeshift tools. He's just putting around in there. You hear some clanging. Looks like he's working on some garden tools.
Maybe we just give Barry a couple of grenades and go.
Or we take him with us.
He didn't
And-
want to go with us. We tried.
But we could try again. Maybe this
You could.
time.
You could try to convince him to find another place to live.
That's true. He should go find some more alleys.
I mean, buzz, weld, weld.
I think we should inform Barry of the situation and let him do what he pleases.
The situation that these people may want to kill you later.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Sure.
And then whatever happens, we have plausible deniability.
He's not going to be happy that there's still some of the ones that killed his parents still alive.
Barry is a reasonable guy. Maybe he'll learn to forgive.
Him. All
Well,
right.
those are the people when we get back on the ship.
Who's going to
We'll
talk
talk
to
to
Barry?
them.
Who's going to talk to Barry?
I can
Barry-
try. He
Barry
did
could
seem
need
eager
some
to.
swaying.
Yeah, I tried that last time. I didn't work very well, even though I, should have been able to. Because I think it was just what was it that I rolled last time?
we could get something that he likes and just take it towards the shuttle, and he might follow us.
We should have brought some soda pop with us. Maybe soda pop.
Some Reese's Pieces. Just put them out, and you can follow it into the shuttle. Oops, I hit a copyright. Sorry.
These are called levies, Barry. These are some comfortable jeans. Great utility. Plenty of these. Plenty where these came from.
That's a comfortable chair, and these are comfortable straps.
This is a very comfortable.
Brian, are there more
thing.
of his species?
Yes, well,
Are there-
Deeda has done a scan, and it's hard to tell for sure what species things are, but there are plenty of life forms with similar signatures to his.
Are they just local to that planet, or have we seen them on other planets?
This would be the only planet none of you would have encountered them before, probably.
Okay.
You mean to say these aren't a spacefaring species?
They're not he's definitely not a spacefaring civilization.
Giant cabbages.
If he is indicative
Yeah.
of his people, then they're probably lucky to be walking around at all.
Cabbage technology
Fair
can
enough.
only get you so
Yeah.
far.
He might be dumb for his kind too, though. Well, to be fair, he grew up by himself.
He didn't go to
I mean-
kindergarten.
If he's big and bulky and strong, then some races may have used them as slaves or something.
Yeah.
And they could inhabit other planets that way too, right?
Oh, good point.
That's true.
Well, it is Barry's home. He's entitled to live there in peace and harmony. And the
Mhm.
humans there are the invasive species. So
That's true.
I don't know. I think for the ecology of the planet, it might behoove us to exterminate the invasive species.
I don't
They
think
have
the
gone
other
dark today.
humans would like that. Or the other.
All right. You have two options: come with us or die.
All right, kids, gather in a
And there's
circle.
the teenage girls. Like, they never did anything wrong. I'm sure that they would never poison Barry. They seemed to like him. So this is
To
a
be honest,
conundrum.
they're probably fawning over him.
Well,
They
you
think he's
see,
adorable.
the colonists chopped down a huge swath of forest. Those trees were people. So what else? What about the rest of the plants on the planet? Or I might just be getting outvoted here. That's okay.
Lazardo's just down for some murder. It's fine.
Ah, jeez.
Well, I mean,
Genocide.
they already engaged in herbicides, so
The punishment suits the crime. Cut them off at their knees.
it's very much just Lazardo speaking.
So my reaction, my gut is maybe we get Deeda to tell us where some more Ellies are. We drop Barry off with them. And then maybe we tell the humans here, since they're not a whole lot of them, maybe they should consider not being dicks to people on the planet or other things that are living here. Because that could be really bad for them.
Yeah.
And maybe we tell them that we gave Barry some grenades just for
Just to see what happens.
just to keep it interesting.
That's his insurance policy.
Deception.
This,
It's only fair. I mean, he should be as well armed as his potential enemies.
I mean, he knows where to find those trees with all the critters, so
Yeah, just throw a bunch of those. That was a good idea.
He loved it. He had
who
a
came up with
blast.
that?
I
That
think
might have been me
that
as
was,
well.
I think it was Lazardo's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of annoying to be on the receiving end of it, though.
Yeah.
What do
That
y'all
Barry's
think?
a wild card.
Alrighty, let's go talk to Barry.
Yeah, I think negotiating is the best course of action.
Let's see if we
Negotiation is the
can
better
get
part of
him
valor.
to go to another settlement.
All right. Well, he'll be outside with the girls. He's found a nice half rotted log for the snail, and they're just kind of like they're asking him all sorts of questions, about him growing up in the jungle and everything. And he's just having a lot of fun looking at like the little bugs and things in the log. Oh, this is so interesting, guys. I can't believe you lived here all this time and I never got to hang out with you guys. I'm so excited to live
Oh,
here with you
good.
guys. This is so wonderful. I've never been so happy in my life. It's like I have a brand new family.
Did you want to
Okay.
rethink your speech there?
Oh, hi, Pockets. We found a new house for the snail.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
I'm sure the snail's very happy.
Yeah, he can eat the log and then he don't have to eat the cabbages.
Yeah, that's right. Saves cabbages for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, greedy snail. Get
Yeah, I
off
don't
my
think-
cabbage.
Well, I don't think he eats very much. He's very little, but I don't want him
Yeah.
getting in my cabbages because somebody will step on him or they'll eat him.
Yeah, we can't have that.
No, that'd be scary.
Speaking about snails and protecting them and
Yeah.
making sure they're not stepped on,
We should always protect snails.
we should. So we think, well, actually, what I should say is we're pretty sure that there's more of your people or your Ellies or
What's
whatever
that
you call them.
Ellie?
Okay, that's what we call, or that's what the settlers were calling you. And like,
Oh, no,
you're-
that's wrong because my name is Barry.
what would you call like a group of Bowies if there's a bunch of them? And maybe you all have like kind of different
Oh,
names, but your
we
species
call them people.
people. Okay, so
Yeah.
we think we know where there's more of your people on this
Oh.
planet.
There's more people?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
people like
interesting.
you, and not like the humans.
Yeah.
Do you want a lift to maybe where they are?
Oh, that would be so exciting. And he'll turn to the girls. Do you guys want to come live with my people? That would be very exciting because
Yeah,
they're
you can
really
take them with
friendly
you.
and they can make food.
I'm
Oh,
giving a
that's
thumbs
so
up
exciting.
and going like, yeah.
Kidnapping, huh?
And the girls themselves will look at you and be like, yeah, we'd love to, but I'm pretty sure mom and dad wouldn't let us go. Oh, Pockets, that's a very nice idea, but I don't want to leave my new friends.
Oh, that's so kind. That's so kind of you, Bowie.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you love to meet another people like you and maybe a nice lady? Maybe her name would be Maui. And,
Maui?
Maui.
I'm going to get married one day, but
Get
But-
Maui to Maui.
Pockets, I can go
Uh-huh.
meet the other people sometime, and I'll live here, and then I can visit them, and they can come and visit me sometimes.
Okay.
And if I stay here, then when you come to visit, you can visit everybody together.
Uh-huh.
Now, what if I'm gonna try something, friends?
Okay.
What if it's not very safe for you here?
Well, I don't. There's no octopuses here, and I have a secret. Sometimes yesterday there was those little animals got in the house, but I flew them.
Oh,
Yeah. So if I don't do that anymore, then I think it's not dangerous in there because they're very big walls.
What if there was something dangerous inside the walls?
Oh no, is there a monster in there?
Maybe.
Oh no. You guys,
And
and he'll turn to the girls. You can't live in there anymore. There's a monster in there.
and I'm still not nodding and thumbs upping to the girls. Yes. Yes.
I don't know. I don't think they will know what happened, to be honest with you. So they probably just won't clue in what you're trying to do.
Well, that's fair. They can just be convinced it's really a monster too.
I don't. Well, yeah, we've been it's pretty safe. I mean, the most closest to a monster we have is Ross, but he's not that bad when you get to know him. He's just kind of a grump.
I'm at a loss, friends. I don't know what to say.
Sometimes monsters look like other people.
Oh, it's one of those kinds of monsters that can look like anybody.
Mhm.
What if hear me out here? What if I smash the monster with my club?
How do you know it's a monster?
I don't know.
Mhm.
What happens if the monster hits you first, before you even know it's a monster?
But you guys already told me. You just have to tell me which one's the monster when I'll smash him with my club.
Nobody knows.
We
Oh
don't
no.
know.
It's a secret?
It's a secret monster.
Oh no. There's a secret monster in your settlement. Oh no.
Be careful, Barry. It could be the girls.
Oh no, it's not them. They're very secret. Oh no. Hold on, I have to look up their names.
Oh my god.
I'm sure they've introduced themselves by now. Oh,
I think we might have to
Sophie,
just put them
Melody,
down.
there's a monster in your fort.
I'm just. Bruce is finished repairing the ship. He's on to building a second ship while he's waiting for you guys.
Come here, Barry. I'll tell you about the rabbits.
Oh no. I know that reference.
He hasn't done anything bad though. Well, other than bonking people. Has he ever bonked anybody?
No, he's been scouting this place for some time,
Ah.
trying to catch someone alone, but he never found it. Nobody travels alone.
That's smart. All right, where are we at here? We
That's
need to
okay.
regroup.
I think. Oh, I will help. Sophie and Melody will help me find the monster, and then we'll kill him. And
Are they
Sophie and
okay
Melody
with
be
that?
like, just don't worry about them. They're just being silly. We're fine. We're safe inside. We're safe here. None of the monsters can get in here.
Okay, I want to just like talk to my group and like
Okay.
huddle. Can we just tell Barry that one of the people that killed his family is like alive?
You might go a little nuts.
Frankly, I'm okay with that.
Who's gonna tell him?
And just
let
to double
nature run
check,
its
they
course.
said alive, but on the ship, and that they were just gonna.
They didn't say. There could be more than one.
Well, the people on the ship were saying that the Ellie might recognize them, so I would assume that one of them at least is staying on the planet.
They also said he was pretty stupid, so.
But an elephant never forgets.
Yeah.
Or an Ellie, I mean.
And Ellie. No, they're the opposite. They always forget.
It's like crocodiles and alligators.
And Ellie always forgets. I like it.
All right.
Howie.
Yeah. Hi, Pockets.
Hi. So here's the thing. We think that there's a monster out to get you, that's only out to get you and not everybody else here.
Oh no.
But we are pretty positive you'll be safe if you're with more of your people.
So my people will protect me from the monster.
Mhm.
Oh no. Oh,
And then I know it's sad to leave me friends. We're very
can I
sad to leave
still
you.
can I still visit them?
Maybe, but you should visit with others of your people
I
to
thought
make sure that
we
you're safe.
Yeah, I'll make friends with the other people, and I'll make sure that we all come together, and we'll be friends with the people here, and then we'll have a party, and we'll make stew.
This is nice cabbage stew.
Yeah, we'll have cabbage stew. Can I have some of the cabbages?
Just,
Sophie,
just-
can I have some of the cabbages? Yes, of course. Half the
Just-
colony just left. You can have probably a good chunk of them.
Barry, just don't take your eyes off the stew, okay? Just watch it like a
Okay,
hawk.
I will watch the stew very carefully.
Make sure
Well, just in
nobody
case.
tries to add any seasoning. No special ingredients.
Oh yeah. Don't worry.
Only-
I know how to make stew really good.
Yeah, if they're like, "Oh, this is a special spice that I found,"
Uh-huh.
you slap them.
I think they won't like that very much.
They probably won't, but they'll
Oh.
deserve it.
Okay.
Here's some
If anybody
pepper.
puts anything in the stew, I will slap them really hard. Okay.
And don't you come back with no salt.
No salt.
So,
Okay.
will you come with us and we'll
Yeah, let's go. We'll go with Sophie and Melody. It was very nice talking to you. I'm gonna go with some more people, and then I'll come visit you every day.
with other people? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll
about every day,
we'll-
but
Well, I don't know, maybe every day. I'm a very busy person.
You have a lot-
yeah.
You got all these cabbages now that you gotta
Yeah, I
start
have to grow my
take
cabbages.
care
Well,
of.
I'll visit a what?
Do you want to bring Snail with you? What's his name? What are we gonna
I
call
know,
him?
'cause the snail has to live here.
Okay.
I just
can't
gave
come
him a
with
new
you.
house.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay.
So I guess we'll
Wow.
try and find us somewhere.
For Matt's sake.
I'm good. You guys keep going.
But yeah, maybe we'll just buzz up to Deeda and be like, "Yo,
Yeah.
here's more of berries," and see if we can drop them off. And
Yeah. To be honest, it won't be tough because they're very familial tribes, and it won't be hard to find. Most likely, no matter which one you take him to, they'll know who Barry is and who his parents were, and they'll know what happened. You know, so, and he'll probably explain. Oh, guess what? Oh, hi, Uncle Frank. These are my friends from the sky, and then
I was so sure that they were just going to reject him outright.
yeah.
Well, hello, Barry. It's been a long time since
Yeah.
we've seen you.
He's adjusting his monocle.
And I don't know if you guys are hanging out for this, but if you do, he'll explain to them, like, because that'll be one of the things they'll say. Why did you come here? Sort of a thing. Because the people that lived in the settlement, the sky people, they came and they shot everybody, and I went away. But I did. Then I thought that they knew where my house is, and then I can't go back. And then I thought if I go to your house, then they'll find us, and then they'll shoot you guys. So I had to live in the jungle until I could kill everybody. And then these sky people came down and they helped me. And they said that the bad people are all dead. And so now, but I have to live here now because there's a monster after me. And so now they said I have to watch Stu very carefully. But also I'm gonna visit my new friend Sophie and Melody. And then they're nice now. And they won't kill us anymore. And you know, so you'll have like this really huge, big, larger than Barry come up to you and say, "Thank you so much for taking care of him. He's we've been worried about him. We assumed he was dead with the others. But it's been nice of you to take care of him. We'll keep a close eye on him. We're not, I gotta admit, we're not overly trustful of the humans there, but
That's
but
probably for
thanks
the
for bringing him back
best.
to us. We've been worried.
I like how these people are they're just I was wondering if this is like a species thing, but oh, Barry's just
Well, Barry
is a special
Barry
one.
grew up in the jungle by himself.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
since
that's
he was a
fair.
kid.
Yeah.
So he's he wasn't the brightest kid to begin with, but he was always a lovable kid. You know what? Anyone here would, many times we actually planned on going and taking out the settlement ourselves, but we were never any match for their weapons, so we kind of decided to cut our losses. But yeah, well, thank you for bringing him back.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe steer clear of the settlement. I think there's a lot of good people there, but
Yeah,
there's
well, Barry
maybe a
seems pretty
couple
fixed
bad eggs.
on visiting, but maybe we can have his friends over here. Might be safest.
And just don't eat anything that they bring or drink anything.
Noted.
What was your name?
I knew you'd ask that.
Archibald Reginald the Fourth.
Yes, no, it's Clarence. My name is Clarence.
Clarence. Lovely
Yeah.
to meet you. I'm Pockets.
Nice to meet you, Pockets.
Do you know of any mineral deposits in this area?
I mean, we have rocks.
Do you have any
he's
very
still
shiny
a
ones?
Stone Age person.
Any rocks that are too hot to touch, or if people touch them, they die?
I mean, no. I mean, occasionally, the volcanoes. Other than that, not really.
We try not to play catch the molten slag too often.
Yeah, not a game we enjoy.
It's good that one time, but
Yeah, just the one time.
We need to get a communicator to Barry and his folks now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Don't know what that means. I don't know if you're talking to Clarence.
Oh, yeah, I was kind of just saying that.
Okay. Don't know what any of that means, but
We'll come back and check
very
on Barry.
appreciate. All right. Yeah, welcome anytime. Do you want to stick around? We're having it for dinner, or
We got a friend that's probably waiting for us, so
All
we
right.
should go. But it was
Do
lovely
you
to
have
meet you,
anything
Clarence.
more than cabbage? We've been
Oh.
eating cabbage for 5 days.
sure. Yeah, we got turnips, Brussels sprouts.
Okay, let's
carrots.
get on the ship. I think I got some beef jerky there.
Yeah.
I just imagine like if this was a cartoon or something that when you brought up a friend waiting for you, it just like cuts over to Bruce and he's just star tanning with these giant stupid sunglasses on, just on the outside of the ship, just waiting.
Yeah, how far away would you say the settlement is from like where the human settlement was?
Probably a good half a day's walk.
Okay, not that far actually.
It's not super far, no. And you will notice there were other ones that are kind of equidistant. You will have found it, and possibly an empty one.
Should we teach Clarence how to use grenades?
Well, he'd be
Well,
more
there's only-
teachable than Barry.
Do they have fingers? Or are they big?
They're big,
fingers?
fat. Yeah, he
Three?
might not be able to get his finger.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what kind of grenades
just-
they are.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
like
just-
the potato mashers might be all right.
I have an extra rifle, so I'm just thinking maybe I should just leave him a rifle.
Well, there was how many humans that were being left behind? There's only
like
half
a
a
dozen.
dozen,
I
right?
think like a dozen.
It's
or
about a
something.
dozen. It's a
About a
little less
dozen.
than half of the total.
Right.
Alright.
And
About
how
a third,
many
Yeah.
Ellies did they just find? Like, this is a full tribe, is it
Well,
not?
it's probably like 20. It's just small.
Oh, okay, they're
small
small.
familial tribes, basically. And basically, I don't know how much you want to get into their culture,
Oh,
but
all
generally,
the way in.
yeah, generally, if you were to get married, you'd kind of move off, have kids, raise them up, So there's a lot of small tribes. They're all basically families. Extended
Okay.
Families a little bit too, but
What does their settlement look like? Like, do they have big trees, or do they get along with the octopus? What?
well, are you asking them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You have to be. Are you asking Barry or Clarence? You have to
Barry.
Because you're gonna get very different answers.
Yeah. Oh yes. If we can smell them coming from a mile away. It's so
Ah.
pungent.
There you go.
I don't know how they keep getting a hold of the humans. so easily. But the Ellies have very sensitive sense of smell.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
If you
So
smell
to
any
them, to
humans
them, the
coming,
octopus they can hear it. They can smell them coming from afar off.
yeah, if you smell any of the humans coming, just pretend they're octopus and run away.
Yeah. Noted.
I don't know if
We've learned to avoid them.
I'm like wondering
humans.
now.
For the
I'm like,
most
does
part, they left us alone. For the most part, it was one of them, from what I understand, kind of got in an argument with Barry's father and didn't end well. But for the most part, they've left us alone.
Sounds good.
I have a question, Clarence.
Yeah.
Do Ellies forget?
What's an Ellie?
Oh, he forgot. That answered your question right there. You're blue people.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It was a rhetorical question.
All right. They don't call themselves Ellies.
Yeah. What do you call yourselves?
People?
you know, there's humans.
Let's go. I can't.
Yeah,
take
we
this.
call the humans humans.
We're me and kind of like Lazardo, minus the mushroom. We're Letnev. Pasha over here is a Sar. You guys have a cool name?
What's
Clarence?
Maybe
your
we
word
should
for
make
people?
one. Should we make one?
Clarence?
For people.
Okay.
What about rocket ships? It's a pretty cool name.
Maybe the next child we can call rocket ship if you like.
Jefferson Starfish.
Yeah.
Clarence is too much of a what's the word I'm looking for?
Can we talk to Barry
I
again?
can't riff with this guy. I can't. He's not volleying back. All right, let's go.
He's
Bye,
still
Barry.
in Stone
He's
Age
just
mind.
confused.
Yeah, he's like,
Yes.
This
Here's some
banter is boring me.
All right, we're very strange folk, but again, thank you very much for bringing Barry back.
I'm gonna grow some cabbages on Mechatol Rex for you guys.
Oh, thank you. Wherever that is,
It's
I'm sure
gonna be
they'll
one big
appreciate them.
cabbage.
These are the best cabbages this side of
that way.
Lake Armagon.
Biggest planet in the universe, and it's gonna be all cabbages. As
Oh.
far as the eye can see.
There's other planets.
What's a planet?
Where do you think we came from?
I don't know, the sky?
Yeah, sky people.
Yeah.
You're upsetting the natural order of things. Abort. Abort.
I'm like,
Look at the
this is
Prime
like that episode
Directive.
of TNG and bring
Yeah,
that
I'll-
one.
I'll leave them a tablet with Wikipedia on it.
Okay.
Is there actually that's a point? Is there actually a prime directive or something that we're not supposed to interfere with alien life forms?
Individual factions may have their own guidelines, but there's no like galactic guideline.
Okay. Yeah. Do we have any rules as the space police that we are?
Yeah. No, you're too new. Politics hasn't found wheedled its way that far in yet.
You
Okay.
stay on the spaceship.
And they're certainly not worried about that. They're worried about galactic threats, not like throwing off some Stone Age population.
I've already claimed this planet for the Sar clan.
Yeah.
I just haven't told anybody else
Well,
yet.
it's funny you say that because that is one of the things the Galactic Council does do is kind of determine who controls which planet, like which faction.
Mhm.
This planet is unclaimed. It wasn't listed even in your charts.
There you go.
Can it be our planet?
I mean, anybody could claim it.
Clearance?
It's just anybody else could take it away from you.
We'll split it 3
Okay.
ways. I mean 4 ways.
I've already reported back to the council. Come on, guys.
Yeah. It's already sent back the whole map and scan.
Yeah, I've already updated all the star charts. It's fine.
Just get the medicine ready. That's all you have to do.
All right. Well, Barry seems pretty happy here. He does know most of them from when he was young. It's been many years since he's really seen them, but
Oh, that's good.
he's pretty
given
excited
hugs.
to be back. Yeah.
Bye, Bowie.
Goodbye, Pockets.
I'll never
time
forget
come-
you.
Next time you come, Pockets, I'm gonna make a stew.
Okay.
And I'm gonna watch it very carefully.
Yes.
Don't give him any pepper.
And I'll bring lots of presents when I
Oh,
come
that's
back.
so very nice. I will see if I can find more snails.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Bye, I love you.
I love you too, Pockets.
Just love everybody.
Yeah.
Same with my other Latina friend from my first adventure.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
that's anyway. That's that. So
We all heading up back to the shipperoo.
yeah. So take your You would have had to shuttle over here. It would have been too
Yeah.
far, a little bit too far to walk. But yeah, you shuttle back up. So the captain will kind of greet you back. This is the last of them.
Yeah.
Okay, because we're a little tight on food. I do have somebody meeting us here from Abaddon. We should hit them in about a day or so.
We brought a cabbage.
Yeah, good. That'll keep one of us fed for a meal or two.
No,
Oh, I'm
we're
gonna
finish
boil it. I'm gonna boil
What?
it. You guys are gonna love this smell.
Oh,
it.
It's gonna boil it in
Yeah.
a sauna.
I've got one for the planet and one to boil. It's
Yeah.
called cabbage stew.
remind me to charge
We've
the
thought of
Clearys
everything.
a Pasha surcharge for this trip.
The good news is we might be able to lighten the load of
detailing the
people we're
freighter.
taking.
But
Yeah.
no, we're being met with some food and supplies. Otherwise, we're not going to have enough to make it to Abaddon. So
We have
yeah,
conduct some interviews.
this trip has
Yeah.
already cost me more than I was going to make on it.
Yeah, sorry about that box of jeans we left on the planet.
Yeah, you know what? At this point, I'm just happy to be alive and my ship's intact.
Did we get the engine fixed?
Wait, you mean my ship,
Check
right?
on Bruce and Deeda, but it sounds like everything's a-okay.
Wait. You mean my ship, right?
Well, if I die.
Oh, there's plans.
We'll see who gets who first.
Remember who's fixing your engine.
Yeah.
We'll stay in the shuttle. You open the space locks. Have
Yeah.
at her.
So we got to talk to some people now.
Some bad peoples.
Yes.
You guys
What are you talking about exactly? Because rather than go through each one individually, we can do a streetwise check to gather information.
To get the,
Ooh, streetwise. Do I have that?
we-
I got
we
a
do
rank.
have somebody that's heard their voice.
That's true.
So he could probably just walk around the ship and figure out who it is.
Yeah, that was like 3 weeks ago. I can't remember.
We weren't gone that long.
At the very least, he could give you a blue die for that.
Yep. Yeah, I can point people out to you.
Yeah.
It's honestly like this just feels like such a non-issue to Bruce that he's just like, I don't care what the cave people do with the settlers with no technology. I just want to get going to Abaddon. So it's like you guys are running around and like interrogating people, and he's just like, that guy.
Well, we can interrogate and fly. You know.
Yeah.
That guy looked at me funny.
Well, you
Yeah,
will be,
that
because
guy.
The captain's very much in line with Bruce's philosophy on this. She doesn't really care what's happening with the settlers or Barry. She is very concerned with getting forward to Abaddon. So obviously that'll be like command one as soon as everybody's back on board.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
You'll
Let's
start
go.
flying.
We can toss people out as we're flying through space. It's
I
fine.
mean,
Oh,
accidents
Very
happen
true.
while we were flying.
you guys
through
do what you
space,
got to
is
do
what
as
you
long
meant
as it's
to
not
say.
to my crew.
No.
Dump them out with
I
the
wouldn't dream
sauna
of it.
water.
And shoot them all at the airlock for all I care.
I'm pretty sure she won't let me dump all the water.
No, the water stays. If the water goes, Pasha, you're going out with it.
Just to double check too, that person said that they were going to give directions to the people on the planet still or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
this-
gonna
So-
teach poison recipe to the guy on the planet.
Well, how are they going to do that if they're already on the ship and they don't
They
have a
probably can't.
communicator?
We
Oh,
gave them
yeah.
communicators, didn't we?
Well, they said they would try to somehow give the directions down, but no idea because there was only one shuttle that went down, and that one shuttle came back, and it's done deal. Unless they were using communicators, which I don't think anybody on the planet had a communicator.
Yeah.
Well, they probably do now. Didn't we?
I'll
give
go up
them-
to.
We were waiting for the supplies from Abaddon to to give to the
Oh.
settlers, right?
Yeah.
I don't think the freight liner has extra communicators just kicking around that they can spare.
Well, she wouldn't give them any anyway. She doesn't care.
Hey, look,
Like-
there's a whole box of communicators.
Potentially as trade for the parts that they took from the old ship, but I think that was more just the transport back to Abaddon, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody knows how to make the poison stew yet. Is the good news.
To be fair, we don't know who knew how to make it beforehand, so maybe somebody who stayed behind in the settlement already did. But it's
Definitely
it's-
somebody on the ship knows.
I think you've taken Barry out of the situation, so
Yeah.
likely he's going to be fine, right?
Yeah, I still want
She wants revenge for Barry's parents.
to kill some people. I
If
don't
you want to
really
kill some people, you go right ahead. I'll be outside.
Is this the?
Holes in the ship.
I think this is called Justice. I think I would like to try it out for.
I
See what
just
it's
want
like.
this person
Is
to
that-
know that they can't push around the little guy just because he's been living in the jungle and he's a little bit dull. Doesn't mean that you're better than them.
Can we check the Clary's handbook on this?
Sadly, there isn't one.
And then I'm gonna
Right.
make that
Basic
person my bag
orientation.
boy, and it will be fine.
First, we kill. Then we kidnap the survivors. Then we use them as slave labor. Then profit.
No, that's
Win, win,
handbook.
win.
That's the handbook, I think.
Yep.
It's a handbook. I don't know.
I
if
start
that's
jotting down notes into the handbook.
Okay.
So maybe, Bruce, before you go outside, do you want to just walk around the deck with me a little bit? We'll just kind of like listen and see if we can figure out who the peeps is.
Sure.
Bruce could probably discern from any two different voices anywhere. It'll probably be pretty easy for him.
Yeah. Do you want
I
to do
sound talented.
Do you want to do an easy perception check?
No.
No, you don't have to.
Can I use
Don't we get-
some form of intelligence instead of perception?
Don't we have a
Well,
bonus thing
I
for
don't know what would
perception?
help you recognize a voice more than perception.
Ah,
It
Okay.
is easy. It's only one
So-
difficulty.
okay, so hear me out here, because perception is to hear the voice, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right.
No, you got me. I'm on track here.
But then it's my what am I actually
Yeah,
good
as long as you
at?
can find a better one, then you're
It's
okay.
It's my discipline to have remembered it. No, it's my
Mhm.
knowledge skills to have remembered it. Like my xenology knowledge skill, because all of these people are alien to me.
If
I
Pockets
wouldn't
is
put-
hanging beside you, you get
I wouldn't
two
put
blue dice.
technology. What I'd be willing to do is kind of a D&D thing, just do straight up intelligence or intellect.
I will do a straight up intellect check.
Okay.
Much, yes.
Okay.
All right. And it's is it still easy?
Still easy.
Well,
That's an
So
easy
one
check.
purple, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a while. All right.
Oh, you know
Unless
what?
he throws a story
That
dice
reminds
at
me,
you.
I forgot to bring up my dice roller.
That's fine. I got 3 successes and 1 advantage. I know exactly who was talking.
Okay, hold on. Let me bring up my dice roller just in case. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I have to pull up the names of the people here.
You definitely don't want Bruce doing cunning checks.
Okay. So yes, it's going to be a man and a woman. The man is he's got dark, sorry, that's my lamp.
He's got a lamp.
He's
just got
got
attacked by a
black
lamp.
hair. He's kind of maybe like 50, so he's got but he's mostly black. He's got the silver streaks in it though. And then like a brown skinned woman with black hair. And those would be the voices. You haven't probably interacted with them, so you wouldn't know their names, but you would recognize them. They're probably still talking just about what their plans are. You're gonna notice some concern on their faces as they discuss, as they're talking.
Yes, Pockets. The man and woman over there were the ones I heard. I will tell this
Perfect.
to her quiet, well, on low volume setting on the communicator.
All right, I'm with you. I got my gun.
All right.
Are you pulling it
Is-
out?
I'm just gonna look like I'm cleaning it.
Just cleaning
Okay.
it,
There, are you approaching them?
I will.
Okay, and you, Pasha, you're following with your gun, cleaning your
Yep.
gun. They're gonna look up at you and maybe scooch against the wall and look a little nervous and be like,
Hi,
"Yeah,
friends.
Can we help you?"
Hi, how's it
Hi.
going?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah.
How have your first, few hours on board been?
I mean, so far so good. I hear we got some food coming on the way, so
Yeah, it's
that'll
gonna be
nice.
great. Gonna
Yeah.
get some real good. Maybe there'll be some roast beef, some sandwiches, some deviled eggs. Wouldn't that be great?
I have a feeling that's a little fancier than we're gonna get, but I like your optimism.
Some
Yeah.
vanilla fish pudding.
Is this
Sure, I'd take that now.
good cop and cop that has no idea what's going on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good cop, clueless cop.
And looming character that they probably
Looming.
haven't really know anything about.
Yeah.
So
Where's
we
Lazardo?
haven't we haven't had the chance to like get to know each other yet, and we have this little sauna actually built up, and we thought, why not take a dip and get to know you guys a little bit more? Would you like to join us?
You might hear from behind you, away maybe 20 yards. No saunas!
Yeah, I kind of took that.
It's okay.
apart
I'll
this
deal with her
time.
later. Would you like to join?
I mean, maybe not the time.
Oh, I think it's the best time actually. It's a really good time. Trust me. You won't regret it. There's no need to be shy. We're all friends on board here now.
Yes.
Suddenly
It's not
Bruce is
the-
terrified of pockets.
I'll roll
How
deception.
How about we all go?
Oh,
Sure.
there's not enough room for everybody. So we're just gonna do batches, and you're
Why?
the two. We just really want to get to know you guys.
Do you want to roll deception?
Absolutely, I do.
He's-
Okay, hold on.
He
I have to pull up my
scares me.
chart to see what's
I
counted
think
by
it's
deception.
intimidation at this point. Just
Yeah.
It could be either. Yeah, that's true.
Just
You-
trying
you-
not to creep them
I
out.
think Matt makes a good point. The way you're
Oh.
saying it might be more intimidation than deception.
Wait,
Right,
is there
yes.
actually? I don't think
don't
there is
know.
intimidation.
Oh, okay, hold on.
It's
I have to bring up some
deception.
charts here.
Yeah, it's definitely deception then. It's
Okay.
definitely whichever one you're better at,
Well,
because you're very good
Deception.
at it.
that's a good general philosophy. Okay.
Is Pasha like? Do I get a blue die from Pasha? He's kind of there. He's like nodding, polishing the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Depends what type of roll we're. Okay, let me just have a look at the sheet here. So we got
Let's go.
deception.
I can use a Sphinx.
Oh, coercion. That's it's not-
Coercion.
Yeah, coercion might be.
Oh, let's
appropriate, 'cause
go. No.
They clearly don't want to go with you. They're clearly suspicious of something. But I just have to see what's countered by.
I'm just trying to use. I know, like, I'm trying to use deception because I'm trying to be like, no, it's
Okay,
fine. Like, this is
all
totally
right.
safe. We're chilling.
All right. Well, either way, it's opposed by discipline. So it'll just
Okay.
be two purple dice.
Two purple.
Yeah.
Are we okay with deception?
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's deceive them.
And a booster from Pasha, kind of just like.
Yeah. Well, if you're using deception, that's not deceiving them. You would get a booster for coercion.
Okay.
I can say, yeah, we got like some cabbages down there.
Okay.
Tell them about the cookies.
Speaking of
Humans
cabbage,
love
Soda pop.
cookies.
A sauna and a soda pop.
Soda and
Speaking of
soda pop.
cabbages,
And
how
honestly,
did
you guys do
guys
have a lot of
get
soda
cabbages?
pop aboard.
Yeah. So
Might be
booster,
nice, I guess. Okay, sure.
2 successes, 1 advantage.
All right. I mean, yeah, I
Ooh.
guess. I mean, and it would be nice. Priya might even be the one. They say, you know what, Reggie, we haven't had a proper bath or shower in
Oh.
what, 20 years, maybe
It would be a Reginald.
15 years.
There was a waterfall like 50 feet away from the camp. What do you guys
Yeah,
do?
it's freezing cold and it's full of like those, those
Octopus.
snakes. Well, the octopus, not so much as weren't such the problem as the giant
The-
crocodile things.
Water wizards. which I think were actually lizards,
Oh,
and I just
lizards,
misunderstood
lizards.
Barry's accent.
They were basically they were giant crocodiles. Yeah.
That makes so much more sense.
I know. I realized
definitely
that
have
after the fact. You said
water
water wizards.
wizards
And I'm
in
like,
my notes.
Wizards. Sorry, Reginald, and what was her name?
Form of ice.
Priya.
Priya.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Fun.
All right. I mean, this could be fun. So everybody's gonna get a turn, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
yeah.
I'll
Okay,
go
so-
last.
Now do we? Yeah, let's take them to the bathroom and
Okay.
just be like, we'll do the thing where we check all the stalls and kick people out, and then
It's a routine we
Yeah.
have.
we probably have colonists in there because they haven't used a proper bathroom in so long.
okay, I'll be
Well,
like,
even a lot of them, there probably are a couple people in the showers.
tell them to get out.
25.
Almost done. Almost done.
Skedaddle. Hey,
Okay.
Routine 25. Okay.
You scare out some naked colonists. I'm sorry. I'll be back in 10.
Captain says no more showers.
No.
is Lazardo with us? Lazardo, did you come? Or
That's
are
up to
you-
Lazardo.
I'm always with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Russo, you're just like,
If
"No,
not
I'm
in
gonna
body,
share."
at least in mind.
Yeah. Did Bruce come along?
Jeez. Is there no more work to be done?
Well, I mean,
This
the
is
engine's
work.
running.
I guess I'm coming along then.
We're a team, Bruce.
We put
Imperium
Lazardo on
engine's
roller
running.
skates.
Your part's done. Deeda's keeping
I'll,
an eye on it.
I'll wait outside the bathroom with
Okay.
just not let anybody in.
Put the
Okay.
wings out.
Yep. I'm good. I hold the doors.
So when you said sauna, I guess you just meant shower?
So listen up.
Yeah.
I know you're full of shit.
What?
I'm very upset.
What?
Bleep.
Sorry, and bleep that out.
What are you talking about?
You're trying to get some people to kill Barry, aren't you?
Whoa.
That's a very careful lady.
Who?
That the Ellie on the planet.
No.
Poison?
What?
Poison was the method? How do you make the poison? What do you use?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the
Listen.
diaper fruit.
Oh, it's the diaper fruit. It's the poison.
Yeah, it's diaper fruit poison.
So
I
is
prefer
this,
poison. Can confirm. Have it
is
written
this
down.
the point where we start killing one of them to see if the other one confesses?
Well, we don't have to kill it.
I'm assuming that Lazardo,
Lazardo says that out loud.
Oh no, I'm asking out loud. Yeah.
Good cop, bad cop, and clueless cop.
And face palming alien at the door.
I think
Who
you
are
should
you-
tell us the truth, Reginald and Priya.
You're talking to both at once?
Did we break them?
Reginald isn't saying anything. He's just kind of staring. Priya may step in front and just be like, "Look, I don't know who you've been talking to. This is just utter nonsense. We wouldn't harm anyone. We just want to get back on with our lives. We've been stuck down there with ages. We haven't done anything wrong."
See, we haven't been talking to anyone. It's been you two talking to each other about this, is it not?
The thing is, I'm guessing you know what happened.
You guys killed Barry's family and took all the cabbages.
Okay, I wasn't even there, for one thing,
Uh-huh.
right? Reggie was following orders. We had to listen to the captain. He was the one in charge, right? There's nothing we could have done about it. Captain Slade was crazy, but he would have killed Reggie if he didn't go along.
Likely story.
So what does that have to do with Barry now?
Well, obviously he was there. He's gonna go mental on Dirk. As soon as he sees him, if he remembers.
Well,
I think we're gonna have a trial.
No,
You just confessed.
Who are you? Who are you even?
We're the Claries.
We're the space police.
You're not from the Federation.
Space cops.
What are you talking? Is that a thing now?
Oh, well, maybe we
making
have
it
no
a thing.
authority.
What?
Maybe we could just push you out an airlock.
I have no
Forget
idea
about
who you
it.
people even are.
Do we have badges? Show
Yeah.
the badge. Show the badge.
I got a business card.
What do you?
For sure.
What is this even?
I traded my badge for a grenade.
I have no interest. I have no interest in this galactic council. We're part of the Federation. You send us to the Federation of Sol.
Oh, those people, they're nuts.
Well, I mean,
How would we feel about the Federation of Soul? Would we?
you're a Letnev.
Well,
You
good
hate
part.
them.
Yeah.
Well, your people, the humans and the Letnev planets, and you're Mentak, so maybe it's a little different, but
Yeah.
the Letnev in general and the humans hate each other.
Yeah.
But the Federation of Souls not part of the Galactic Council?
They
yeah.
are,
Yeah.
but these
Hey.
it's new, so these people probably.
Oh, these
may-
people
may have
don't
crashed.
know about the Galactic Council
They
because it
may
was
not
founded
be
after
aware
they
it's been
crashed.
reformed. Yeah.
What can I roll anything to see if I have any repressed memories from my previous host's life
Yes, you sure
about
can.
about humans?
Yeah.
What do I roll? I've
I'll
never done this.
I'll have to look it up because I forget the exact mechanics.
You could do lore.
Yeah, I think it would be
Potentially.
more.
Oh yeah,
The-
that's right. You can choose any skill and give yourself proficiency in it.
Oh, so it's more so just like for a skill check.
Yeah, but you
not
can give
for-
yourself an extra proficiency in any skill. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to know if I had any trauma from interactions with humans.
Well, you
to
might.
help inform our decision.
If you want to roll lore, I can give you like just a flashback.
All right. Should I have a difficulty associated with that?
Yeah, let's do 2 maybe.
Okay.
If he's in a human body, he's obviously had trauma with humans. That's how we work.
Letnev body.
He's in a Letnev body.
One
Letnev.
advantage was my ultimate result.
Okay. So your memory, your exposure, you never met any, you didn't have personal encounters with humans, but you've had the memories of the indoctrination of your training. This is something that was drained into you. The humans are bad. They can't be trusted. They're treaty breakers. They're dishonorable. They're lazy. You know, you've had the
Okay.
propaganda drilled into you, but
Well-
you've never had any personal encounters with them.
Based on the evidence we've gathered, I think we can safely eject them out of an airlock. Right? Right?
Well,
Are you
Right?
saying this out loud?
Oh, yes.
They're running for the door.
We could send
Bruce
them
is
for
there.
a walk
Listen,
with
listen.
Bruce.
They're not
we're
going to be able to open the
we're gonna
door.
chat real quick.
What do you guys want?
Reginald
No,
Priya.
please. This was years ago. We had nothing
I
to do with
understand.
it.
You're following orders. I understand.
I wasn't even there, says Priya.
Of
And
course
Reggie, Captain Slade would have killed us.
not. Hmm. He probably would have. You're right. Let me just chat with my my colleagues here, and we'll get right back to you. So we'll just whisper in the corner. Okay, honestly, I just think if it was just like a matter of they were like, oh, our friend might get killed, whatever, like Barry's away from them anyway, it's probably fine. We'll tell them that. Tell them to cooler jets. No harm, no
Yeah.
foul.
If an accident happens on the way home, it happens.
Okay. I really wanted to know what revenge felt like, but maybe next time.
You're really looking forward to taking some little fingernails as souvenirs, weren't you?
I think most of our party is really looking forward to murder.
Which
Yeah.
is probably a bad.
just
Wanted to
Throwing it out
murder
there,
those.
you know.
It's been a dark few weeks.
We're the space police. We specialize in
It's in murder.
coercion and murder.
Well, corruption comes with the job.
All right.
It's a
Reginald,
prerequisite.
Priya,
Mhm.
listen.
Just
So
Reggie, please.
I wouldn't push it
Oh,
there,
he's
buddy.
out.
I'll call you whatever I want.
Okay. Yeah, whatever.
I'll space you through this port in the bathroom.
This is
First of all-
this is the hill that man wants to die on.
You'll be the first human to fit through a space toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I don't think I was thinking swirlies at one point. So, but so okay. Before we left, we took Barry to some of his own people. So now he's with more Ellies. He's not at the human colony. He's not around this Dirk guy, whoever he is. So everybody should be safe and sound.
It would be fine. Like we had no, we talked about, we couldn't get the message down anyway. You know, it's fine. Everything's good. Dirk wouldn't hurt a fly normally. He's a nice guy.
I don't even know what to say to
I
that.
don't know. Conspiracy to commit murder is pretty bad.
It was survival of the fittest down there. If you guys you don't know what it, we were barely surviving. We were getting gobbled up by jungle monsters for years before we were able to get that settlement together. We were starving to death. You know, you get desperate, you get a little different.
Yeah, you've never been attacked by a black space dog.
A what?
And worn
Never
its
mind, I'll
coat.
show you later.
Oh,
Can we ask
I've got-
what the
I've got a
What-
helmet in my locker.
what was the actual disagreement about? Because there was some kind of a disagreement, right, that caused
Yeah.
Slate to open fire.
are you asking them?
Yeah, you'll hear that over the crackling
through one of
of
their
one of the communicators.
Yeah. Oh, well, so I don't know the details. This would be Reggie talking because Priya wasn't really there. I don't know the details. He'd made some sort of a deal getting food from the Ellies, and I guess at some point the Ellies stopped giving us food. So Captain Slade got in an argument with one of them, and he said basically, if you're not going to give it to us, we're going to take it. And a little bit of a tussle ensued. Just ended violently, and Ellie's big as they are were no match for, you know, we didn't have a ton of blasters, but the ones we had were enough.
And what happened to Slate afterwards? How did he pass?
We're not sure. So that was a bit of a investigation itself, because we suspect somebody killed him, but we don't know. He was found dead with his body kind of, we don't know if it was his body was his head was basically cracked open, and we don't know if he there was nothing he could have fallen on, so we suspect, some people thought he had been murdered because a lot of people actually didn't like him or trust him. Some people think maybe he may have hit his head and, you know, died stumbling back to the settlement or something. We don't really know.
All right, who's Dirk?
Oh, he's just a buddy of ours. He stayed behind. Unlike a lot of the people, not all of us have pensions waiting for us. So he decided there's nothing to go back to. We thought we'd give it a shot anyway.
So,
What would you make the poison from? How did you? What is this like?
You distill the rinds of the diaper fruit. It's not too different from making ricin.
Diaper fruit.
Well, that's what we called it because it stinks.
is Dirk Slate?
Sorry? Oh,
Is
no,
Dirk
no.
the captain?
No. The captain's dead.
You're sure about that?
Well, I mean, I knew him somewhat well.
That is the name of the
Saw
board game.
his
So
skull cracked open.
It
I'm
checks.
assuming.
Yeah.
You're not lying to us, are you?
No, you can roll perception if you want. Actually, this is one I'll roll.
Okay. We got a bonus to perception.
Okay.
Yeah, heightened
Like-
awareness.
+7 blue dice or something like that.
Yeah,
It's
how many-
crazy. They both have it.
I think just
So-
+2.
What's your total roll for perception there then?
For me,
Yeah.
I got a yellow, 2 greens, and then 2 blues.
Okay. You're 100% like there's no sign that he's lying.
Okay.
In fact, at this point, he seems willing to say anything to get you off his back, to say whatever. He's kind of given up on trying to deceive you.
This is when you ask for the money.
All right. Well,
Where's the money buried?
We just want to get on with our lives at this point.
So does
How long
Bruce.
were you guys
Oh,
down
wait.
there for?
Sorry. Yeah, he's sorry, I forgot one thing. He's telling the truth, but you rolled a triumph in there.
Oh.
He's hiding something.
Oh,
He's telling the truth completely about this.
but he's hiding something else.
Yeah.
All right, everybody think of something.
You suspect
are you sure that
like
message
behind
didn't get
his
down?
eyes, deep behind his eyes, you sense something.
He's hiding something.
Reggie,
What are you hiding from us, Reggie?
there's a heaviness. I'm
What?
You might not know
Dude.
this, but Letnev are part psychic.
We're psychotic.
That's why humans love them so
I-
much.
Never heard that. What number am I thinking of?
6.
4.
No, nice
12.
try. Nice try. Nice try. No.
Oh wait, was it between 1 and 10?
We
We didn't set the parameters before I guessed.
Let's go. How psychic are you?
I know you'll catch this grenade if I throw it at you.
How's this? I'll guess. You can guess. I'm gonna think of a number between 2 and 4.
Between 2 and 4?
3?
Inclusive or exclusive?
Yeah.
Exclusive.
3.
Nope. Pi.
Oh.
Nice try.
See, well, the thing is, it's more psychic for like things that have happened.
Right.
Let's say.
So like a memory. You can
Yeah.
remember things.
Yeah.
So do you remember what number he was thinking of?
I can't tell the future. I can't read minds, but I can get senses of like
Uh-huh.
not just my own memories, but memories
Right.
of the world
Uh-huh.
and the people that I interact with.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not telling us something, Reggie. And that's my point.
There's an awful lot of things I'm not telling you. You're
Well,
gonna be a
tell us
little more
everything. We got
specific.
time. We
How
got a
old are you?
long trip.
I'm 48.
How long have you guys been on that planet?
We kind of have to go off Sophie Melody's ages. We know that they are both teenagers. So we're guessing maybe like 15 to 20 years, but it's hard to tell because the years on that planet don't align with years on Jord, which is
Alright.
what humans call Earth in this future.
So
They didn't say that. That's me telling you that.
what valuable thing did you guys find on the planet in 15 years?
Well, you were mostly scraping to survive.
Ah, scraping the gold and the silver
Ah.
from the hills.
Honestly, in our situation, we wouldn't have even bothered looking for that.
Are you sure you didn't get a message back down to the planet?
Yeah,
Are you positive?
yeah.
Only fools are positive.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't know where you guys are going or what's going on.
What
Look,
aren't you telling
I
us
don't
about
know
Barry's
what's in-
family?
we told you everything we know. And that
you
part
have-
Pasha would know is true.
Did you
Anything
have-
about Barry, they've been telling the truth.
Did you have an affair with Barry's mom?
You had to silence her?
Can I
Very-
go now? This is just
No.
getting silly.
Very specific question.
He's hiding something.
What's
What are you
waiting
hiding?
for them back on Abaddon?
Nothing. A ride, hopefully. To be honest, this was a big discussion. We were trying to decide if we even wanted to come. We have criminal records, right? We're not military. We weren't pensioners. We don't have anybody waiting for us. We were prisoners. We happened to survive and befriend some of the soldiers. We don't have anything waiting for us, and we just thought, we'll come give it a shot, and see what happens.
So
We could end up going back if it comes to that, but
who really killed the captain?
we don't know. Well, except maybe perhaps somebody else who did it, but
Of all of the people on the ship, how many are prisoners, as you say.
Well, originally about
On-
half the survivors, but it seems to be more prisoners were killed over time than military, probably just because of their better training.
Allow
there
me
are
to clarify.
5 of us left.
I am
5
talking
left.
about on this ship currently.
Hold on. Let me check.
Mhm.
He didn't say that. I said that. 1, 2, 3. 3 of us left.
And both of Reggie and Priya are criminals, as you said.
Yeah.
Should we be worried of any of the passengers that have been brought aboard this vessel?
Not that we're aware of, but I mean, there's a lot of people here. I'm pretty happy. Most of them are just happy to be getting off that rock there.
I think we need the captain to run everybody through the database.
I also want to double check.
Yeah.
But they would have been prisoners of the Sol Federation,
Yeah.
not of the Galactic Council, as it
Correct.
wouldn't have been formed at that time.
Correct.
So
Is there anything else that you're not telling us about the people who are left on that planet?
I mean, I don't know. Personal secrets?
Oh, no.
No.
Anything that might bring harm to
I mean,
Anybody?
some of us really questioned Melody's parentage. But
oh,
I mean, I
that's
don't know
salacious.
if you're
Let's
worried
talk about
about
that.
I don't know if that's the sort of information you're looking at. You notice they looked quite different. That was a point of contention for a while, but
Ooh, that's fun.
we didn't really get involved with that.
What isn't he telling us?
I think that he was a criminal, I'm guessing.
probably the criminal record.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
It's just I think at this point,
So-
I know I'm more concerned about is there a risk to us during our transport, right? And do we need to turn them over to the Federation of Soul?
What was their former crimes?
Yeah, that's a question, I guess.
And who's the other criminal? That's
Well,
why I think we should let the captain know so she can decide
Yeah.
what to do.
Are you asking them?
Yeah, what were your crimes?
Well, so Reggie, I was embezzlement. I
Cabbage
worked
thief.
I worked for the government. I was a bureaucrat, I guess you could say, and took a bit of cuts. Yeah. And then and Priya's like, yeah, I had a pretty terrible boyfriend at the time. I didn't know how to get out of the relationship. I ended up killing him after a violent scuffle. I was given actually I think they were going to let me off, but the evidence wasn't solid. I had denied his abuse prior to the incident, and so I got convicted of manslaughter instead of murder, but I was still sentenced to this, hard time colony that they were sending us to.
And the third criminal on the ship?
Well, we don't want to out anyone.
I think you have to.
Eh,
It may be best for all of us if you do.
yeah.
Oh, and I can roll that coercion check that you wanted before.
Yeah, no, they'll so the other one on the ship is
Not Juanita. Not Juanita. Not
oh
Juanita.
Kyle.
Oh,
I thought Kyle was on the planet.
No, sorry. It's either Dirk or Kyle. One's on the planet and one's on the ship. No, Dirk's the one on the planet, I think, isn't it?
Okay.
I don't know. I might be getting them mixed
We'll
up.
go with it. It's fine.
It's the other one. It was Dirk, Kyle, Priya, and Reggie. One of them stayed behind. All right.
All
And-
right.
And Kyle's crimes?
To be honest, we didn't ask each other that sort of a question. It's kind of a
Never came up in 15 years.
no.
Serial
just-
killing.
We care for the safety of the crew of this vessel
Yeah.
and for getting to our destination.
I'm,
It would be
I'm going to be
in-
honest. The criminals were not the worst people on that planet, in that colony.
Yeah, that captain sounded
The
like
captain was a worse criminal than
jerk.
anybody that had been sentenced,
fair enough.
and some of his soldiers weren't much better. Let's just say his funeral was rather unceremonious.
Tossed him over the gate and
Yeah, well,
Toss them to the little fuzzy things.
yeah.
Feed him to the octopuses.
I think, team, if we need anything more, we can probably speak with Winita.
yeah, I think we're good.
I
Okay.
think we
All right.
forgot to bring samples of all the stuff we found on that planet.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think you guys did grab anything besides
No,
the
that was
cabbage
really
field.
dumb of us. Now that I
Yeah.
think about it.
Maybe some of the
Probably.
people brought like a food with them. They're like, oh,
Well, we got a cabbage, but that's it.
Yeah. 15 survivors, and all we brought were 2 cabbages.
Yeah.
It's an
Well,
invasive
to
species.
be honest, a lot of them probably had personal effects that they would have brought up.
I hope some of them brought food as well.
Well, they didn't have a ton, so that's why they're hoping for this shipment to show up in the next day.
Well, let's hope the pirates don't get the shipment.
Yeah.
all right. Well, you're free to go.
All right, thanks. I
But
mean,
we're watching you.
we might like genuinely just stay here and have a shower. Okay.
And what are we doing about the one naked guy that came back? He's
Oh.
been standing out here for a while.
He's
He's
probably-
just sitting. He's just sitting with his
Can I-
back to the wall.
Let
Can
him
I
watch
send
the
it-
soap off. He's just been listening.
Yeah.
Can I send him in?
Sure.
thanks.
We'll get him a towel.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, you can come back in now.
And I'll be honest too, a lot of the colonists have gotten over their timidity about nudity in those quarters for so long. You know, they probably just bathed together in the river when they could. So,
Yeah, you're all just naked apes to Bruce anyway.
yeah. And Bruce, honestly, the only reason you're wearing clothes is because you know it bothers other people.
Yep.
All right.
It's just hard to find dresses in my size, guys.
Yes. Custom made.
Oh, Brucette.
Bruce.
Only on Thursdays.
All right. Well, you guys have about a day before the shipment arrives of food. Anything else you want to do in that time?
Are we are traveling then, so we aren't really going to be checking out the other space junk that's around.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It is not something the captain was interested in caring about at this time.
Salvage. It's
Yeah,
worth
is there-
a lot of money?
I'm actually more concerned about another pirate attack of some
Okay.
form.
Yeah,
Is there
that's always
any
a
way
concern.
we can set up some long range scanners or something?
Or you can just go outside and look?
Yeah, I mean, we're heading towards a hyperlane, so they can't get us in a hyperlane.
I mean, we must be on the outskirts of something. Like the planet we were at isn't even on the map, right? So
Yeah. You had already been veering around the lanes where pirates are known to attack. That was part of the planned route. And then you were veered farther off of it by the people that had stowed away on the ship. So you're kind of out in the boonies. You guys are heading towards a hyperlane that will basically take you back en route to Abaddon.
Right.
But yes, this might go this will go through the pirate lane, unfortunately.
yeah, I just I'm wondering if we can set up any kind of
Oh,
safety
yes, of
measures.
course.
They've already done.
They're gonna have
right?
scanners going when they jump
Yeah.
out. Yeah. And they do have 3 large turrets. So, you know, worst case scenario, you might just have to hop on a gun.
Yeah, let's go do
I
that.
can do that.
Okay.
I'll go look out a window.
So the
Punch the
captain,
chips as they
captain
go
goes
by.
under the assumption that you guys are all like trained killers and assassins. She has no issue with you manning the guns. I
She
just
did
don't-
before.
just
I don't know why
well,
she
because
would.
you were going to be shooting at asteroids. She might watch Pasha.
It's target practice.
Dark,
You-
keep an eye on Pasha.
You guys all man the guns. Bruce goes out onto the ship with a stick.
Yeah.
I'll
He's gonna
get you.
beat away some spaceships.
Well, one thing to be aware of, if you get hit by a ship's cannon, it does a lot more damage than a regular hand phaser.
I'm fully aware.
It's a magnitude of difference.
Yeah. It'll be fine. I'll
you will
just
not survive.
dodge. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, as long
I
as you dodge.
Told
you're
you to
okay.
take deflect. Get
It
a
would be hard to
shield,
hit. It would be hard to hit, but because your size. But
Get a ship panel and put it up on your arm.
all right. So you're but the guy meeting you is going to be on this side of the hyperlane, like before you go through the hyperlane.
No, because he's not crazy enough to go into pirate space.
Well, he has to go through pirate space to get here, but it's just where the hyperlane is. You're going to be
Oh,
meeting him
on
the
this
way
side
there.
isn't. We're me. Okay.
Yeah, you're not on the pirate side of the hyperlane. He'll meet you on the non-pirate side of the hyperlane. He has to go through pirate space, make a hyperlane, and then meet you here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to make sure you guys have enough food to get back.
Gonna
And
get
there
the
he
cat
is.
butt.
Not yet. Unless you want to skip ahead. If there's nothing
It's
else
the
you want
cat.
to do for the day. Oh, I see.
He's come to say
It's one
hi.
of our dark bays stowed on your ship. Papa Bay
Yes.
stored in one of the cargo containers.
Oh no,
It is our pet now.
probably
Yeah.
not happy.
So do you want to just fast forward here?
I don't really have
Okay.
anything
Think we're
else
okay.
that I need
All
to
right.
do.
So everything's going to be fine for about a day. The crew, the colonists, pretty much stick to themselves. The crew could seem to care less, other than making sure that their basic needs are taken care of. But the crew is much more focused on just flying the ship and making, they're scanning, watching the engines, and Bruce is probably helping with that as well, I would assume.
Yeah,
Just making sure everything's
wherever they'll
working
let
right.
me.
So they're not up to full speed. It's a patch job. But there's Abaddon will have a repair place. So it's going pretty good clip. About a day later, you're starting to approach the hyperlane, and you're going to go into yellow alert. So you're going to start just seeing lights, yellow lights start flashing on the walls. There's no noise to these ones. Okay, you're just going to see yellow lights flashing. And so all of the crew will be running to their posts. You might hear some muttering among the colonists, the people that you just pulled off of the planet there. But they don't have anything to do. They just kind of sit. They all live in the room you were given, that one hold where your beds were. They're all crammed in there.
Hmm.
They'll just be talking amongst themselves. The crew will be scrambling to their stations.
What do these flashing lights mean?
Who are you asking? Are you asking
Oh,
your group?
the team, the
Okay.
crew, our friends, my friends. You
Do I
the
know?
ones.
It's a yellow alert.
Yellow alert. Let's go man some
Is that
guns.
is that
Woo!
all I know? Is the yellow alert? Do I know
Yeah,
what a
so
yellow,
yellow
alert means
alert,
for
it's
this
lower
ship?
than red alert. It means be at your stations. Something might be going down.
You want to go man a gun?
I'm going to a gun. I'm going to a turret. Let's go, Pasha.
I will.
Me too.
I'll explain that to Lazardo, and then I'll head up to the bridge, I guess.
I guess I'll stand by an airlock in case someone
Okay.
boards us.
And then I can't think of her name offhand, but Darek's mom will go up to the third turret. She generally mans one of the turrets as well. So we got Pasha in one, Pockets in one. Bruce went to the bridge. And sorry, where did Lazardo go?
I'm like guarding the airlock.
Okay, so you're in front of the airlock there.
Yeah,
Okay,
looking out the window, like
yeah.
what's going on?
So the first, you guys all nestle into the little chairs, and they're pretty big turrets.
Fun.
And Bruce, you're going to be up, and the captain is going to be talking in an intercom, and you're going to hear a voice coming from the other end, like, "We're coming in hot. We're coming in hot. They followed us through the hyperlane."
All
Okay,
right.
and so she's like, "Who? What are you talking? Hold on. Who's coming? What's going on?"
Well, the pirates are.
Yes, pirates, pirates. And she'll
And
just
so-
sigh.
If I'm the only one hearing it, I'm going to relay it down to my crew
Yeah.
on the frequency that I use to their communicators.
Yeah, their
Hmm.
crew, her crew's all here on the bridge, except for Sagd or whatever her name was, is up in a turret as well.
Yeah, but my crew's
Uh,
all over the place. So
Your crew's all over that. Your crew, they're all over the place. She's gonna hit the red alert.
Bing.
So at this point, there is a
Bing.
noise. The lights turn
Bing.
red, and it's
Bing.
bing, bing,
I will
bing.
tell Lazardo specifically. This is
Yeah.
a bad sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
This means bad things.
Also, you may want to hold on to something because I know he's just standing in front of a door.
Yeah.
I brace myself using my skill.
Okay. And I was
Take
I
the
was-
power
I was
stance.
debating if we want to use
Yeah.
tabletop simulator first, because there's so many people participating, though. I think that's going to be just awkward.
Yeah.
So
I'm probably not going to be able to do much, so I might strap
There's-
into a chair.
there's a lot of ship actions that aren't directly combat.
Oh, okay.
So things like scanning for the other ship's weaknesses, trying to hack into their computer systems,
Ooh,
I
I like
have
this
a-
now.
I have
I
a
like
list.
this more.
Let me send you a link. Let me send you a link.
All
'Cause I
right.
think I
Yeah,
brought.
we
I
had
should have
that.
it up
We had that for
for yours.
mine. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a hack a spaceship, guys.
But I forget. I didn't save it either after that. So.
Starship action cheat sheet. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna send you.
Oh no!
Lazardo's down.
The bay got him.
Okay,
Got
so
my
this has to
camera
go
at
to,
least.
I'll send this one to everyone. So there's a link here of Starship Actions. So this should have the different things you can do on the ship.
And it's a PDF, so I can save it.
Excellent.
I got a folder with all of our various things, dice rollers and all that.
Oh, I'm ready.
So yeah, there's things like slice enemy systems. You can make them more vulnerable. You can scan them. You can do repairs. You know, you can do, they don't have spoof missile. They don't have, oh, if you get fired at, you can try to spoof their missiles if they shoot missiles. Yeah, so.
And then anything that's pilot only.
Yeah, some will say
Obviously we can't
pilot
do.
only. At the moment, that's Marie. She's piloting at the moment.
Where does it say pilot only? Sorry.
Next to some of them.
Yeah, some of the actions will say pilot only.
So like I think like
It might be a
one of the
different chart. It might be a different
maneuvers-
chart though. Hold on.
Oh,
think it's
pilot
mostly
only
the
maneuvers. I see
maneuvers.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Astromech maneuvers. Astromech actions. Standard action.
Oh yeah, and you don't have any.
I don't think I'm an
gain
astromech.
the
so-
advantage is also pilot only, which is an action.
Oh, there it says. Okay. Okay, cool. I know where to look now.
Okay. We need initiatives.
What are we using?
This would be. I would say this would be vigilance.
Ooh, and do we get helping
We're pretty
heightened
spread out,
awareness
right?
with that? Or
Oh.
oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you guys are like all in different spots.
Dang. Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna do, just for simplicity, I'm gonna give the, well, I should give the crew their own initiatives here. No, I'm gonna, so many people.
Oh, fudge
just
it
do it
any
all as
way you
one.
want.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do them all as one. Okay.
Do it as you could do it as 2 crews if you wanted to.
Yeah, no,
Like,
let's do that. Yeah, it's a good idea.
2 groups of minions or something.
Yeah. What was your, sorry, I need to get your initiative, Lazardo.
2.1.
Slow poke.
Okay, and then what is Pasha's again?
I got the you said 3 for a triumph, so I got 7.2.
Okay.
I was gonna say just an even 10. Don't worry about it.
Did I roll the right thing? Like what the heck?
Vigilance.
What was pockets? Pockets was 0.1 I got here.
Yeah, because it's
And
just I just
then-
have one will, right? So I just roll one dice, right?
Yeah, you would roll one green dice for yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. To put
Yeah.
in perspective, I'm rolling 3 greens and a yellow.
Hmm.
Oh, that
That's-
would be 6.2. The way the thingy adds it, adds it. Funny. Like it
Oh,
gave me 3
the triumph
successes, 2
gives-
advantage, and a triumph.
But the triumph counts as a bonus success with the dice roller, right?
Yeah, except
Yes.
I'm giving him 3 successes instead of just 1.
So it would just be a 6.2.
You know, that's still pretty good.
Yeah,
Is that normal
probably.
that when you roll a triumph, it counts as a success plus a triumph?
Yeah, so it always counts as a success, and then whatever the triumph ability is.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
But for this, because there's no like obvious triumph ability, it's like, just make it 3 successes. I'm okay with that.
Sure.
Okay, sorry, I'm rolling for these other guys now.
To give me 2 shots. I know where they're gonna be.
Oh. 3. Okay, so we've got PC, NPC, PC. Okay, so hold on. PC, NPC, PC, 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 NPC, PC, NPC, PC. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Sorry, there's a lot of math on this one. Okay, so you guys get to go first.
Okay.
So
We're-
Pasha's
we're
got the
f-
top slot, but any one of you can use it.
Are we first and second?
No.
Okay.
I'm
What are
actually
we-
I'm gonna put their ship's crew last, just for simplicity. We'll take the last 2 PC slots, like the freighter.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
What are we looking at size-wise for their ship?
So what you're gonna see is kind of a rounded, think kind of Millennial Falcon, sort of a rounded, sort of a small freighter ship, flying, being chased by 3, just for reference sake, more X-wing sort of looking ships.
So there's 3 little pirates.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're not little, but they're not nearly as big as your freighter.
Okay. Seem to remember the symbols. Because that's advantage and that's triumph. Okay, cool.
All right.
Do you
who's
guys
taking-
do you guys want me to take first action? I can try to slice enemy systems.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
On a success, reduce the target's defense in one zone by 1 for 1 round per success.
Do it.
Okay. So
Yeah,
there's
I can take that.
There's 3 ships. There's kind of one in front. Think of like a flying V, one in
Yep.
front and then 2 behind. Which one do you want to try to hack into there?
I may as well go for the front one, I think.
Okay.
And so this is going to be a, I guess, a difficult computers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No advantages or anything, just whatever my computer is versus 3 purples.
Yes.
Okay. I got 1 success and 2 advantage.
Okay. And you said
Which-
the front ship, right?
Yep. So that reduces the target's defense by 1 for 1 round per thing. So this will just be for 1 round, but also with 2 advantage, I can inflict 1 system strain on that ship as well.
Okay.
That's what I'm reading. So
Yep.
I don't know what all of that did, but I did it.
Yeah. So basically, they have small shields that only cover one side of their ship, and so you can sensor. It's not visible to the naked eye, but on your sensors, you can see that it's currently set for the front of their ships, and you've kind of just briefly shut it down, right, for that front ship, and then also, causing some stress on the power, conductor that's sending the energy to that part of the ship for the shield.
Sounds good.
And you said 1 strain, right?
1 system strain. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they're flying in. So the one that you just shut down the shield is going to go, and they're shooting at this ship that they're taking, this little freighter. And they're going to roll. They're close range, by the way, to that thing. They're medium range from you guys. Close range to the ship they're chasing. Okay. Okay, so they shoot. Oh shoot, they have linked. Are they the linked cannons? Yeah. All right. Okay, so they're going to take it. Oh yeah. So you can start to see some smoke shooting out of the engine behind the little freighter.
Oh,
It's still moving, it's still driving, but it's taken pretty, it got hit by a double cannon.
Ooh. Brian, I just noticed that there's an assist maneuver as well. Can I use that to add a blue die to another character's next action?
Yeah, as long as you can describe to me how you're doing it. Like if you're boosting the energy to their gun or whatever you're.
I'm going to inform, I guess Pasha's probably going to take the first shot. I'll inform Pasha that I've disabled the shield on the front ship and to aim for that.
Okay.
okay.
Does that help?
Yep.
Now, is it possible to use an aim maneuver on these things?
Yeah, especially because
Looks
it's
like it, yep.
turret. It's a manual turret. Like it'll have a lock mechanism, and everything, but yeah, it's a manual turret, so
Oh,
for sure.
it actually, it says you can, the aim maneuver says that you can add 2 if you want to spend 2 maneuvers for it.
Yeah, if you want to spend the strain, yeah.
Yep. I can spend the strain and get 2, and then I only get 1 black die if I do a call shot. Do I want to disable one of these things right away, or do I want to just take a shot?
I think just take the shot. We want to lower the number of enemies that we're fighting against, right?
All right. I forgot how the aim works. You just
Add 2 blue dice. Take 1
how
strain.
much strain? Just 1? Or is it 2?
2 strain for a second maneuver, right?
Yeah.
So you would get a blue dice from me from my assist, and then 2 blue dice from your aim.
All right, that sounds good. And what's my resistance dice?
Like for the difficulty, you're at range 2, medium range, so it'll be 2 difficulty.
All right.
I would say the silhouette size isn't different enough to
All
warrant.
right,
penalty
so
for
I
that.
got 2
And you use-
successes and 4 advantages.
And you're
Okay.
using your gunnery skill, right?
Yeah, I don't have any yellow dice, but I have 3 greens.
Nice.
Is there any criticals on this thing that I'm using?
Yes, there's a critical 3.
Okay, so I got enough for a crit,
Okay.
and then I have 1 extra left over. I'll just pass it on to the next actor
Okay.
on our side.
So sorry, what was your total number of successes there?
2 successes
Okay.
and 4 advantages. So 1 crit and 1 blue dice to our next person.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Lazardo, start throwing things out the airlock.
I'm gonna need
Start with
to.
the colonists.
We're gonna have to roll on the critical injury table for ships.
That's just, is that still just a D100?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the list here. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's yeah. So just roll. Can you roll a D100?
Sure. 14.
Okay. All right. So you hit the ship. It shakes a little. It's still en route. It's still flying. You can see maybe a small explosion coming out of part of the hull.
That's never good.
It is not.
In space?
I mean, it's a good thing that it was
Oh,
their ship.
and I should also say, yeah, perfect.
I hit their battle droid.
Yes. So I'm just calculating the total damage here. And so that'll be 5 on that guy.
And that was the guy
Okay.
that I had reduced the shields to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeti.
You guys get another turn. Oh no, sorry, it's the little freighter's turn. I put him on a separate track from you guys for simplicity here. So it has a single turret, which is like swinging around to face the people behind. They're just firing at that same front ship that you just hit, because it's the closest one to them. Oh yeah. With the shield down, the little turret on the little freighter flies, shoots right into the front of the ship. That's the lead ship of the pirates, and just explodes. It's not a fiery ball. It's kind of just thing that just shatters into like many pieces. And the other ship, the two ships behind, kind of just have to swerve a little to fly around the new wreckage there. And then now you
One
guys
down.
have another slot.
I can go next. Shoot another one.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, shooting
Sure.
sounds more effective than whatever I'm doing.
How's your computers or mechanics?
Moral support.
Lazardo.
They're all a bit
They
bad.
exist.
Yeah.
I get one blue die from Pasha.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm a shoot with the turret. I get a yellow and some greens, and it's 2 difficulty.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes, from this range, yeah.
If you aim, you get extra dice too.
Oh yeah, good point. Yes, I'm gonna do that.
You aim once or
Aim.
twice?
I'll do twice. Might as well.
Okay, yeah, so 2 strain.
Okay, 2 strain. All right. 3 success, 2 advantages.
Okay.
Pretty good.
So probably that's not enough for a crit because it's 3. But yeah, 3 success.
For your
Assuming they're
for
the same
your
gun.
ship, you need a critical is 3, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I assumed it was the same as Pasha's, but with my 2 advantage, yeah, let's give I'll recover 1 strain and then I'll give a blue die to whoever's next. I
Okay.
guess Lazardo.
Go
Whatever
Lazardo.
you do.
Throw
Uh,
something at him. Come
Lazardo,
on.
there is that scan the enemy, which takes perception as a roll.
Yes, I was just looking at that.
Cool.
So I think when I go, that's what we'll be doing.
Well, it's their turn at this point. So they're using their turn, but you don't know what they're doing.
Uh-oh. The call
Trying
for
to hack
back.
us. Oh, where we at backup?
Mhm.
Who's
Yeah, and then it's back to you.
when does what's her name go? She's on the other gun.
I put our crew. I put the freighter crew just at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not sharing slots with you guys. It's just easier management.
Yeah.
So has Bruce gone yet?
Yeah, I went first.
Yeah, he went first.
I was top.
All right, so
Yeah.
I guess I'm
He's the one that
left,
dropped
right?
the shield on that one ship.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're left. What are you
Okay,
doing?
I'm gonna hop on the terminal that's just conveniently next to the airlock,
Okay.
and I'm gonna use my perception to do a enemy scan.
Okay. Do you want to roll vigilance real quick? Actually,
Sure.
this might be one I need to roll. Let me roll this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Does he see a boarding pod coming through?
They could be
sorry, so
jamming
what's
our
your
systems.
vigilance, Roman?
2 green.
Okay. All right. So you're getting onto the terminal and you feel something wrap around your neck from behind, but you are able to grab it and pull it. It's, like somebody's behind you with the rope. It has managed to cut
What
your neck
the-
a little bit. We're going to give you 2 strain. But you managed to yank it out before it tightens too much.
Okay.
Well, now you got somebody to punch.
Can I do that?
Well, yeah, because that technically you haven't used your action. This probably changed your mind.
Yeah, I'll use my maneuver to turn around and face my attacker.
Yeah, I think you can do that as
What-
an incidental, probably.
Sure. What do I see?
You see Reggie.
Uh-huh.
Reggie, you backstabbing back-roading liar.
Oh, sorry, not just Reggie. Reggie, Priya, and either Dirk or Kyle, whichever one was on the ship with you guys.
They're
There's three of
twins,
them.
so it doesn't matter.
The odds are looking good then.
Pieces of garbage.
Well, can I?
Open the airlock.
Can you
That
breathe
is-
in space?
Well, I'm on the airlock controls, so I want to brace myself, and then yeah, let's space these buggers.
Okay.
I can hold my breath for 10 seconds.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead. You're just opening the airlock here.
Grab
No-
onto the bar.
No depressurization or anything. All right.
Nope,
Why don't?
I'm using my innate resilience and using my brace ability.
Okay. Now
and I'm
you're.
durable.
You don't need to roll vigilance because you're ready for what's happening. They need to roll their vigilance to see that they can grab onto something here.
Well, we're strapped in.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys.
d-
Well, you're
Oh,
fine.
the-
You guys aren't.
We'll be
killing
fine.
The
anyone.
guys in the hallway have to roll their
Yeah.
vigilance.
Well, right now it's just Roman and these three in this particular corridor.
Well, that's lucky.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, that's why it happened. That's what they were waiting for.
Bye, Lazardo.
All right.
No, I'm bracing myself. It's happening.
Yeah. Okay. So let's them roll here.
I'm just saying my
Isn't-
goodbyes in case I
isn't
don't get a
that-
chance.
Isn't that a maneuver that you can brace yourself? Like you took a maneuver to turn around, but you can spend.
Oh, that was an
Strain.
incidental.
Yeah, turning around's an incidental.
So I'm using my maneuver. Given that I only moved a foot, I'm going to use my maneuver to brace.
Well,
So,
the three of them are sucked right out of the airlock.
ha!
They rolled terribly.
Yeah.
No, they don't even have a chance to say or do anything. It's just you hit the button, airlock swings open, and they're just. And you can probably say their mouths opening in screams, but there's no noise, right?
You
Just
can
silent.
close it again.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm holding my breath. And
Yeah.
I
Okay.
hit the close button.
Sounds good. All right.
Terrifying.
Well, that was lucky.
Sorry,
Got rid of
sorry
that.
we had to waste your turn like that, Roman, but
Oh yeah, that was a waste of a
that was
turn.
that was over a lot quicker than I was expecting.
I am
I
never.
wanted them dead anyway.
I am
That's okay,
never
I'll
going
spend
to
the
try
rest of
to
my
garrot
turn, like-
Lazardo.
I had this whole big
Trying to
thing
recover.
planned with these three guys.
There was a peaceful
There was
solution.
a whole adventure behind this, Roman, and they're gone now.
Brian just rips up 7 sheets
Yeah.
of paper.
You know what? No, I'm used to that now.
Maybe they
Happens all the
left
time.
behind like a data pad with some information on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So now they get the final pirate ship is just gonna shoot. Well, that was very anticlimactic from my end.
Hey, I enjoyed it.
I thought at least one of them would make it.
Apparently, this vessel's been itching to kill something.
Well,
all
and it's
day,
kind of
so-
funny you were standing next to the airlock because I didn't plan that. I was just like, oh, as soon as somebody's alone, right? Okay, so. Right.
Well, lucky it wasn't Bruce. Well, you
Hey.
could have went out.
Oh,
the
Bruce
airlock
would have just
too.
like grabbed onto
I
all
would-
of them and been like, let's go for a little
Yeah.
spacewalk.
Garroting Bruce.
I just
is
jump
very
out, it's fine.
unproductive.
Yeah.
Okay. So the third ship, the pirate ship, shoots that little freighter, and it starts spiraling out of control. There's
Uh-oh.
smoke coming out of it. It's spiraling. Doesn't look like it's in control anymore.
Bruce, go
Uh,
catch it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna
no.
sigh because now I know I have to fix another ship.
Yeah. All right. All your food's on there though.
Well, all
His
their food is
food.
on there. I
He's fine.
remember,
It's his
if
ship.
everybody here dies, I get a free ship.
Yeah. All right. Sagra's
And-
taking her shot.
I don't mind eating dead people that aren't SAR, so that's fine.
Are
with
you
me.
okay if they're a bit cold?
So
Eh, there's microwaves.
the
We've
other
got a
damaged
Reggie
ship is
Sickle
gone.
outside.
There's one ship left. You can feel your ship starting to turn towards the one that's spiraling.
Oh, sorry. Did you say that our other shot took out the other pirate?
Yeah, there was another one that was, so one has already been blown up.
Yeah.
By the little freighter.
Yeah.
And then Sagra, who's in the third turret, shot the one that had been damaged already. So there's 2 gone.
Nice.
right? There's one left, and the ship, your freighter, is starting to move towards the little freighter that's spiraling out of control. And the captain is probably shouting orders if you're close enough to the bridge to Marie.
I am
to
on the
make
bridge.
Yes, you're on the bridge. You hear the captain shouting desperately at Marie to catch up with that freighter that's flying out of control here. And she's probably calling them on the intercom, like, you know, turn on your turbos. Stop moving, you know, sort of a thing.
Fire the
Okay.
grappling hook.
It's back to the top for you guys.
Okay. What do you think, gang? Should I slice or should I try to jam this ship?
Do you want to
I don't know
capture
if-
somebody?
Well, I don't know if they're going to be trying to call for backup. So if I do a jamming
Jamming.
on them, then I can increase the difficulty of them using their communications. But if we want to just shoot them, then I can also try to take out the shields again.
I think they probably already communicated. I think that's what that pause was.
All right,
Right.
shields it is.
Although I do like a good time to say we jam in.
I do like throwing strawberry jam at people.
Hmm.
How did I do? Oh, I didn't do that well.
You didn't jam it.
I actually got a wash. I got nothing.
Oh, okay.
I got 0.
You try to hack into their computer, but you can tell there's somebody on the other end. Like every time you kind of make a move into their system to try to get into the shield, somebody's countering you. It's
Yeah.
basically like a boxing match with coding, right?
Yeah.
Every jab gets a block.
I
There's
bet they have
somebody
a
on the other
double
end.
hacker over there.
Yeah.
They just keep changing that damn
Okay.
password.
And that ship,
Guest one. Why isn't it working?
that ship is basically doing like it's flipping upside down and heading the other way towards the back towards the hyperlane point.
It's running from us. The cowards.
Yeah. They didn't necessarily expect
shoot
to
it.
run into you guys.
Shoot it.
Okay. Well, it's your guys. You guys have a slot now.
You want to shoot?
I'm happy to shoot it if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and take
Yeah.
pockets.
Packets. Okay. No blue die from anybody this time. Unless actually, I'll do the two. I'll do 2 more strain for
Okay.
the
Aiming.
aim.
All right.
All right. So we'll do that, and it's still purples. Still like medium range.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
no, he would have moved one farther away. Your gun won't reach from here, your turret.
Oh,
Well then, I'm just chilling. Okay. What else can I do?
fire torpedoes.
We're gonna head in the opposite direction anyway.
Well, actually, that hyperlane is where you're headed. The
Well,
one there.
but we're chasing the freighter down that's spinning
yes,
out of
yeah.
control.
At the
so-
moment, you're heading the other direction. Yes. You're turning right. They're going left, basically.
Can we scan the enemy ship and try to like identify it for later?
Yeah. If pockets. if somebody wants to
Actually,
do that
I
action.
could do that because I do have decent perception.
Yeah. If you want to try to, you
Yeah.
can try to get into their system and like read their transponder or something.
Transponder.
Yeah.
Oh, that was in Friends where they said that Chandler's a transponster.
I have no
anyways.
idea.
That
I'm lost.
reference
That
I did get.
cultural reference is lost on me.
Okay, so it's gonna be 3 green, I guess. I thought I had better cunning, but apparently I don't. But it's at least better than my other option, computers. So how difficult is this check? 2 purple?
Yeah, let's do 2.
So aim won't really
Aim won't help on this.
help.
Just a straight up computers check.
So I'll get rid of that. Okay. All right, well, let's see if I can do something here. 1 success and 2 threats.
Okay.
Oh wow, I was scared for a second there.
That was very stressful.
You see
Yeah.
the smile? I'm like,
Yeah. So the 2 threats is probably from just realizing what's going on in that ship. So these are ghost ships.
oh. Ghosts of
Not your
Cruz.
typical pirates. Yeah, I say Cruz.
Cruz.
Creus. Maybe I
Creus.
say Creus. I don't know, Creus.
Yeah, that's scary. They're scary.
But it's not their typical. So the transponder is registered to the ghosts. It's not a familiar ship for them, though. If you've had any experience with them,
The ghosts of
Ghosts of
Creus.
Creus. Yeah.
Oh yes, what else
You can
do I
roll
get?
xenology
So,
if you want. Well, if she relays to you what she's found there.
yeah. Oh, it's those ghosts of Cruz.
The
Those
ghost
guys.
the bad ghost peoples.
Yeah. So what you would know, what Pockets would know, is mostly ghost stories. So the area of space where the ghosts live, it used to be like a ghost story part of space where ships, like a Bermuda Triangle, ships
Right.
here. It was a long time before they realized who the ghosts were who lived there. They're not generally hostile.
Would
But if you
would
want
I
to
know
roll
any?
lore, roll lore.
I absolutely do. What's my difficulty?
We'll do 2 for this one because it's not that hard of knowledge. It's pretty common knowledge.
Oh, 1 success, 1 advantage, and 1
Okay.
triumph.
Perfect. Yeah, easy. It was big news that when the Mahakt returned, it was the ghosts of Creus who arrived on Mechatol Rex and announced the arrival of the Mahakt and that everyone should lay down their arms and let them be the new rulers of the galaxy. Not necessarily their own volition, but the belief is that they obviously have been mind controlled by the Mahakt. The ghosts were the first ones to be their mind. The Creus found the Mahakt and accidentally unleashed them, but those ones had been mind controlled to go back to Mechatol and kind of herald their return. That's not necessarily these ships specifically, but that did happen with them. They're the ones that accidentally opened the giant gate that let the planet Ix through into this part of the galaxy, and the return of the Mahakt was kind of their fault by accident.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do we know anything about the ghosts present in this area of the galaxy?
Not really, because they're not. You're a bit of a ways away from Shillary space where they live. So why these 3 ships in particular are here, you wouldn't know. But the ghosts are also famously everywhere. Like they can, out of all of the aliens, they can just they're wormhole masters, famously wormhole masters. So they zip around like nobody's business. So it's not really a surprise to run into them anywhere.
Okay.
Hmm.
Are they? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you go first.
I was just gonna ask if they need, because they're ghosts, right? So what I understand is they kind of possess objects. Do they not? They're more like spirit form.
So sort of their energy. They're kind of a bluish white wispy form normally. In order to interact with the other factions, the other aliens of the galaxy, they wear these runic carved suits or uniform, like kind of like an armor, but that are carved with runes. How that
Right.
works, you probably wouldn't know. But,
Oh, it's basically Alphonse Elric from Full
Yes.
Metal Alchemist, right?
yeah, sort of like Alphonse Elric.
Those
Yeah.
are the ghosts, right?
except you can see their white wispy bluish energy forms coming out of the cracks in their armor and things like that.
So it's odd that they would be hunting a vessel.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
and they're not commonly pirates either.
Might not even be them.
Could it be
It might not even be them.
Transponders.
The transponder is theirs. Yeah.
they're trying
Oh,
to
you know.
deceive
The
us?
ships don't look like their ships, but the transponder is definitely marked as one of theirs, right? So it's been at some point these ships have been registered as Kraus ships.
Can we play back the combat footage and see if there's any pictures or
Yeah, can we identify the ships by their appearance?
Yeah, so the model of the ship would be hybrid. So something that would be very typical, more typical of the Mentak or the SAR.
Mhm.
So, maybe a hull from the L1Z1X, but maybe like a gun mounted from the Hakan, and then like the shield might be X-Jaw make or
Yeah.
something,
So they just find parts and build their
Yes.
ships.
So whether or not
Oh,
the
so-
people aboard are ghosts, you don't know. All you know is the transponder has been registered as a ghost ship.
Oh, okay, so it's so it's actually almost likely not to be a ghost. It's just they took out a ghost, which was
Possibly.
Needed
And then-
the
Or for
parts.
whatever
and
reason,
scrapped apart. Yeah.
if you remember the first ship you found, the one that accidentally got lost,
Mhm.
had something called an umbilical cord, which was kind of a fake transponder.
Mhm.
Yeah. So as far as you know, and this would be something Pockets would know most about more than anyone else. That
'Cause she lost
potentially
the
was going- Yeah. But
You know what? I'm tired of taking the blame. Where were you when I was in space and I was navigating an astrofield and I was trying to save people and do the good thing?
When
You're
you
the
were
pilot.
It was
trying
hard
to
work, okay? It was stressful.
hold up,
Don't you think I would lie
when
awake
you
at
were
night regretting that
saving
moment?
people
Yeah,
or returning your kidnappees.
when you were on the
But he was a prisoner anyway. He was kind of
planet?
he was a piece of garbage.
You were
And
on
did
the
he make it
beach at
home?
the resort. That was a tough 2 days.
Oh,
I mean,
more than
depending
2
on
days.
Your beliefs, maybe he did
Couple of
return
months.
somewhere after.
Would you like us to introduce you to the bays that we met?
I was gonna say, but at least with the roll I did make, next critical hit we get a roll twice.
Yeah.
Take whatever one we want.
Okay.
Cool.
Mhm.
All right.
Also that.
Well, I mean, so the next slot is the freighter, the one that's bringing you the food. And you can see like there's maybe a couple small jets on the side. So not proper engines, but more like thrusters. They're trying to just control. It looks like they're just trying to like the slowing, the spinning will slow. They're just basically trying to regain control of the ship and stop moving so you guys can get to them. Yeah.
And not explode.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's your slot. The other ship is now out of range though of any of your guns.
Well, I haven't taken my turn yet, and the only thing in space is that freighter.
Okay, roll your hit.
No, I won't shoot it.
Okay.
You
People
could do
might be
a.
unhappy.
You could try. Oh, I guess you're a little bit far to try helping co-pilot, right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
Calyx is actually co-piloting already.
Oh,
I
okay.
can
Yeah.
scan the freighter and see if there's
Yeah.
anything,
If you want to
glaringly
scan the freighter,
obvious.
see if its systems are still working. See what's still going on.
See if there's a big hole in their oxygen.
Yeah.
What do I do for scanning?
It's computers.
All right, computers.
We're just doing
there's
average.
a big thing. Do I get a bonus dice?
Did you give them did you pass along? a
Yeah, I did.
bonus?
Do
Okay.
the rolls next. Yeah, because I
The
got,
computers, essentially the computer system's already lined up to scan since Pockets was already using it.
Oh wait. Oh no, I didn't.
Oh, never
I got
mind.
2 threats.
She
Never
closed,
mind.
she logged out.
Yeah.
You have to log back in.
No. What was the
A, s-
resistance?
a scan is on the action sheet. The scan is 3 difficulty, and it's computer or perception.
Oh, I don't know how perception would work on this one though.
But it is. But that's also scan an enemy, so it could be different
Yeah,
if you're
I'd say 2
scanning
for
an
this
ally.
guy anyway. So I should have done 3 on Pockets's, but this one would be 2 anyway because they're not blocking you.
All right, let's see what I get. I got a wash.
Okay. Eh.
I didn't find anything.
There's a lot of like funny. They have Brick Breaker installed on here, and you just kind of cool. I don't know. This is more fun. I don't know. Yeah, it does. You can't get a read on it. But we can kind of call the battle here. Things went a lot differently than I had planned.
Do we see the bodies
Thanks
floating
to
outside?
Lazardo. Sorry.
We see the
3
bodies
bodies.
floating outside.
I'm willing to bet nobody noticed those 3 bodies floating out because they're not in the direction of where the ships were.
They probably would have noticed on the whole ship when
Yeah,
the
yeah,
airlock
that's
opened
true.
up and the whole
Deeda
ship.
would have noticed the airlock opened at some point in there.
Yeah.
Can I ask?
Hopefully
Bruce
you
is
have
going to
some
ask
video
Lazardo if he's
evidence.
still alive.
Yeah, is the room I'm in repressurized by now? I'm hoping so.
We sure.
I'm alive.
Is the airlock closed?
Do we have
Yeah, no, it's all closed again. We're all good.
it's closing? Why did it open in the first place?
Why?
There's 3 less mouths to feed.
That's your way of
Hmm.
telling us something?
Sounds like you had a situation.
Yes. I think I was attacked. Before I could ask any questions, I opened the airlock.
They were coming to award
Hand
you with
slipped.
the medal of valor for saving them from the planet.
I have
Thank
to
you for
admit,
saving
the
us.
this humanoid body I inhabit somewhat panicked a little bit and took drastic measures.
Hmm.
Thank you for saving us from the planet. Here's a ring
Well-
we made.
They were presumed dead
There's a
before we got
friendship
here
necklace.
anyway.
I mean, I guess that's karma. All right.
We should go maybe inspect their belongings and see if their intentions were true or not.
The Council of Former Criminals have decided you get this wreath.
Well, once that, do you want to do that? Do you want to go investigate their stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
I would-
see if there's any information.
Yeah,
we
let's
have.
finish that up.
I think Bruce wants to get on a shuttle to get across to the other freighters to see if he can start helping to repair.
Yeah, so they'll pull up alongside. Honestly, you don't even need a shuttle because they're gonna get as close as they can, and you can probably just drift over.
I'll just jump.
We've got an airlock.
Yeah.
So I think there's some
Yeah, I was
kind of
testing
damage
out.
control I can do, right?
Sorry.
There's some kind of damage control I can do.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Surgery.
Let's pull it up here.
The mechanics?
I'm assuming it's mechanics. I'm just looking it up. Okay, so this is going to. Oh, the difficulties based on the whole trauma is pretty bad. It's going to be like 3 difficulty.
Okay. So my success is +1 hull trauma per uncanceled success, but only once per combat. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. I have 4 uncanceled successes.
Oh, easy. Okay, so you hop over to their ship. You can see on the hull that one of the mounted engines, like the big engines, have been jarred loose. So it's kind of bent and it was throwing anything off kilt. But not only that, there's a crack in the hull, and you can actually probably feel air seeping out. Not to the point where it's empty inside, but obviously there wasn't a lot of time. The clock is ticking, but with your handy little welding torch, you're able to seal that, and and kind of get the thing. It's not fixed, but you're able to get it so it's not leaking air and the engine isn't going to fall off right away.
All right.
And
Look, guys, I heal people and ships.
yeah,
That's why we have you.
all right. So if you guys, who's going fishing into their goods? Pockets? All right. Do you want to
I'm gonna start kicking their
the
sleeping
first thing
bags
that
around,
happens is some of the
ripping
other
the heads off their
passengers-
stuffed animals.
Some of the passengers will try to stop you first. Like, oh, what are you doing? Go through their stuff.
Oh,
No,
so they're
I'll be
dead
your
because they
backup.
attacked my friend. Yeah, they
No.
attacked Lazardo.
No.
They did.
Why would they do that?
Because they're criminals.
They tried to garrote me.
Look at his neck.
Yeah, and actually, they
That's
can
gonna take
see-
a lot of salve.
There's a
to-
mark on your neck. They did get a little bit in there before you pulled it off. I can't believe that. Why would they do that?
3-on-1.
No, I never
That's
trust
very
them.
honorable.
That stupid
right.
Reginald got mad at me. I called him Reggie. or
Probably because
Reginald.
we threatened them so much the last time they tried to go to the bathroom.
So this is a bit of a shock because these people, they knew they were criminals. They knew they were criminal. They knew they were prisoners originally, but they've known them for years now without incident, right?
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah, they probably would have got off with good behavior,
Yeah, but and what you might hear them muttering about is some of them would know that unlike the soldiers, they don't have a pension or anywhere to go back to at this point, right? So, okay, so who knows what happened to them? But yeah, they'll let you go through the stuff. It is very little because these people didn't really have much possessions worth bringing. You might find like a comb, like an old ratty comb with some teeth missing that they were still using.
Break it apart.
Okay. That sort of like just
Oh.
knickknacks and personal effects. There's not going to be anything that will help you determine what was going on.
Maybe they.
That
maybe
was going to
they-
be a whole adventure to find out.
Maybe they're racist against Derzuga.
They could
Let's
be.
go. Let's
and
go
that's
find
not
one of
uncommon.
their
Yeah.
frozen bodies, and Lazardo will get a baby going.
Yeah, you could try. Lazardo does not probably have the medical expertise to do that, but
Bruce
No.
might.
Bruce might, yeah.
To implant
Well, what he'd probably have to do is plant Lazardo into their corpse, and then once he encompasses their corpse, he can start trying to flash their memories.
Yeah, if they got frozen in space, I mean, do
They're
we have
probably well
cellular
preserved.
regeneration? I don't think we have cellular regeneration here.
Well,
That's gonna be
freezing tends to preserve the cells, maybe. I don't know. You can
when
try.
they
It's up to
when
you.
they freeze, they crack.
More up to
Not
Lazardo.
good. It's like
Well,
we're made of mostly water, so
Yes, we are made of
it's like
mostly
ice.
water.
I'm
crystallized
willing.
ice.
I'm willing to put my fungal life on the line if our team wishes it.
well, when you put it like that,
No, I don't know.
we'll just
It's
let
an
them
old
just
body. It's an
You
old
turn and see
body.
Bruce. He's just standing there with scalpels.
He's ready to go.
Bruce, you look
No,
a
I
little
think
too
we're
eager.
Anything for the quest of knowledge.
we'll just let
That's-
them float around and hit somebody's windshield in a few years.
As much as I want more Lazardos running around, if we get too many, they might not, it might be a detriment to our little secret group here.
That's true. And one thing about Lazardo is if he runs into another Arborec, they each other know what the other one knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we'll
That's
have a
through the
whole
spores. The
swarm
spores
of-
kind of is just a constant communication between Arborec. He doesn't have access at the moment because there's no one else around.
So we'll have a whole swarm of Arborec following us around, pushing
I'm
keep
so
float
lonely.
airlocks.
Well, you'd have to be pretty close to them or on the planet. On the planet, you're connected to the symphony if you go to the planet.
if it makes you feel better, I can just not wash my hair and like float the dandruff around. It's kind of like sporous.
Yes, well, if you
I-
allow me to let some fungus live in your hair, that would be pretty close.
That's why my species showers every 4 years, so we can get rid of the fungus.
Bruce has a what you might call a sad expression on his face at his lack of hair.
Aw.
A slight bow of the head. A Charlie Brown. Yeah.
Mm, walk away.
I
The
cannot
sad Hulk
assist in
song,
this
or was
endeavor.
His dad's a barber too? What?
All right. Well, we saved the day yet again.
Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna. So you're
I
gonna
think
As
have
much as we try not to.
Bruce, as you're working on the ship, you're gonna see two figures in enviro suits, kind of coming out of their airlock.
They
their
immediately
ship-
panic.
Yeah, but probably look at you, see that you're obviously helping in some way, but they might be staring at you as they drift towards the freighter, trying to get into that airlock. So you're gonna see, you can't hear them because they're talking on their communicator.
Hmm.
You're gonna hear a man's voice say, "Did you remember to grab your homework?" "Yes, Dad." And so you'll see the smaller figure holding a bunch of books as he's drifting towards the airlock.
Isn't there more important things right now?
Just gonna keep going about my work.
Okay. All right, Lazard, are you still inside the airlock there?
Oh, sure. Wherever I'm the most
Wherever you want to be.
useless.
Whoever wants to be there to receive. Well, I'm going to be honest. The captain's probably down there to receive them.
Is there any asteroids flying by?
Not nearby, no.
Space
So the ships
debris?
have they basically come to a halt here. The captains come down just to double check, to kind of greet the people that you just saved. And so they're going to come inside. They're going to pull off the helmets. I guess Bruce won't see this because you're kind of outside working on the hull there. You're going to see people that I have pictures of because I made these ones.
Oh.
Pictures.
Yeah. All right. Just got to find him here. I've made an awful lot of people nowadays.
It's because Roman keeps killing them off.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to share screen. All right. You guys can see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you
Uh-huh.
see this guy, kind of an older, dark-skinned gentleman with an eye patch. Hey, how's it going? So there was a lot of a rougher entrance than we were hoping for. And then you're also going to see somebody who looks maybe like older teens, you know, carrying a bunch of books and papers. So yeah.
There's certainly criminals if I've ever seen one.
Certainly.
Out the airlock.
Shirley, good to meet you. Nikki, nice to meet everyone. Thanks for the help. We couldn't help it. We were going as fast as we could. They followed us right through the warp tunnel thingamajigger. That Bryant just I said it earlier. I've said this word 1,000 times this episode. Hyperlane. Yeah, they
Hyperlane.
followed us right through the hyperlane.
But
Sneaky
any,
pirates.
any
Wow.
idea who the pirates were?
I mean, we didn't think to ask. Well, they're they're dead now.
Most of them.
Oh, one of them got away, I suppose.
Yes.
I have a feeling we're gonna want to keep our heads up as we go out of the lane the other way.
I say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I brought enough food to bring this many people the long way around.
Yeah, short way sounds good.
Yeah. So be
Yes,
ready
I
to come
don't-
out shooting.
I don't feel the ship's integrities will last much more conflict.
Yeah. Nikki, you renewed the insurance on this thing, right? Yes, Dad. All right. Sorry, guys. She's got a test on Wednesday. We got to get her back as soon as possible.
Can we
What
confirm?
kind of test?
Galactic history.
Oh, well, we
Oh.
have an expert in galactic history.
Oh,
He's outside.
oh, the,
I think you
Talking
met
to
him
your
on the way
the
here.
communicators.
tall fella on our hull.
Yeah, yeah.
You might as well have him come in. I don't know if we're salvaging that thing. If we can get the food and water out, that'll be fantastic. And our personal effects, if that's all right.
It's insured. You're okay. Let's get it.
Well, yeah, there's some things you don't replace. Besides, my wife would absolutely kill me if I don't bring back the milk I promised.
Ah,
Space milk.
Yeah.
Spilk.
All right.
Well, all right. This didn't go as planned, but I got to be honest, it was a lot of fun. All right, Nikki,
Good.
find a place to settle in. All right, Captain, I trust you can get the food across. I think we've kind of had it as much as we can take for the day. Besides, Nikki's got to get studying. Is there a quiet corner we can find? Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So they're going to,
We have
keep knocking
3
over my
new
lamp.
beds ready for you.
oh, that is accommodation.
there's a
Thanks.
few stuffed animals without heads on them. Just ignore
Yeah.
those.
You know what? I am happy to be alive at this point. You know, we've driven that route so many times. Usually there's only 1 or 2 ships coming after us. Nikki's usually able to knock them out pretty quick. Anyway, they caught us by surprise a little bit, like they were waiting for us.
That's suspicious.
Well, I thought so too, but why would they be after like a cargo ship full of food?
Maybe they didn't want you to get to your destination.
That is possible. Not my job to think about it. I'm just happy we're covered. And we are still getting paid, right? Yeah, absolutely, says the captain. You brought the food. That's our part of the deal.
Hope you like soda pop.
I could do with some if you got any. I did not. That's not what I brought. We got straight up canned goods.
Great.
Well, I for one will eat like a king, because I eat starlight.
Well, you're in the right place for that. The
And
rest of you will be eating
I've been
spam and
outside the whole
peaches.
episode.
Space spam.
Space spam.
Which is just spam.
It's kind of like spam, but it's in space.
It's the spam.
Spam.
Yeah.
All right. Is that what we're calling it, Brian?
Well, yes, because the rest of my adventure was kind of
Was it shot out the airlock?
kind of shot out the airlock.
It's a figure of speech.
There was going to be this whole thing with a ship takeover attempt.
Well, don't throw it away. Maybe we can use it next time.
Yeah, well,
Someone might want revenge
we'll make
this
another
little
plan.
incident.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
No, don't feel bad. I thought it
This
was
guy
funny.
and his kid turned traitorous as well.
It was a good way to cut. It was a good way to go. I think it was funny.
It was very funny. Yeah.
I think Bruce is just deciding that there is not another race in this galaxy that is worth trusting.
I don't know. In terms of trustworthiness, the X-Jaw have a pretty good reputation.
Imperians only. That's it.
Imperians
I'm not
only.
talking to anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's about a little bit shorter than I was expecting, but good job.
Yay.
Also, you guys took longer with Barry than I was expecting.
Yeah.
We tend to do that.
We drug that out.
I was like, well, maybe they'll just invite him on board or something again. I don't know.
I got a lot of
But
laughs. It
He
was fun.
He's happy down there.
Hmm.
All right.
Or
Probably
dead.
won't get poisoned.
On the
He's-
positive side, I feel like this was a more role play heavy episode, so that was nice.
Hmm.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Unless you guys don't like that element, in which case it was
That's
terrible.
good.
No,
It's
no,
good.
I was
No, it's-
laughing my butt off. It was
Yeah,
fun.
It's good to have the mix, right? Like
Yeah.
we have heavy role play sometimes, heavy fight sometimes.
Yeah, I
It's
like
good.
to have a lot of role play with like maybe a good fight every episode, ideally.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
if you guys,
that'd be ideal.
so the trouble I've had in the past, so the Tika's D&D group, I used to run them in a GURPS before Tika's time. We used to run them in GURPS, and they would actively avoid like every combat encounter. They didn't want their characters to die. So like I set up this like huge, cool old west gunfight on a train.
How mean are you as a DM? What?
Well,
Oh,
You're not
happened-
supposed to try
yeah.
to kill the characters, Brian.
I just wanted a cool fight on a train with old timey Western weapons, but they just all hid under the seats during the train robbery. I thought they would try to defend the train, but they just all hid under the seats.
Yeah, hand over their gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, just very risk avoidant.
Yeah, it was just fine.
But for the purposes of this, I'm like, okay, if I ever try to avoid battle, that would be not fun. So
Yeah.
you just gotta get in there.
Well, I feel like it's Pockets' jam too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
as
that-
Delirious, it's kind of our job.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear to the team, like I'm super happy to have you guys off and doing that, whatever you were doing with Barry. It's not in Bruce's character. Bruce
Yeah.
Bruce wouldn't care.
I was a
so-
little worried. I didn't want you getting bored there.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
I don't have to be the main character, you know, like we
And I
got four
don't
of us, so.
I don't really play the don't split party style. Like there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of situations where you'll have to split the party. Like I have to hack that computer terminal so you can get in
Mhm.
through that door, so you can take out that guard, that sort of thing. Tactics are I prefer tactics.
Yeah.
To just
I'm
like
trying to get in the mind of Bruce and just figure out what
that's
he
great.
would do. So yeah, he's not gonna care about some little alien and 6 humans on a planet. So
Yeah. No,
he's
that's
like,
fair.
let's go do the mission because galactic issues.
And I don't really mind that Lazardo evaded my entire adventure there.
That's probably what he would have done.
I don't remember who suggested the airlock, but that seemed like the
You
thing
just
I would
said
Yeah.
do.
you just said airlock. I was like, okay, that's the most isolated position on the ship
Talk
right now.
about the
Nobody's gonna be there.
airlock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh.
we had
yeah. I think
people
Ken
in
told me to
gunner's
open it up.
position.
And it wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I was on the bridge with the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
And seeing as how Lazardo was already about to, he wanted to kill him anyway.
Anyway,
it seemed
that's
like-
that's the thing. That's the thing he was hiding that you couldn't tell. It wasn't. It had nothing to do with Barry. It had nothing to do with anything that had gone on. It's just they really didn't have a financial future. So they're like, "Is there a way we could take this ship?"
Yeah.
So as soon as the red alert hit, they're like, okay, we can start taking these guys out.
Well, at least they
One
don't have
by
to worry
one.
about that.
Yeah.
So
Slowly
these
but
three
surely.
criminals with nothing
Yeah.
decide
Yeah.
instead of survival,
Yeah.
we're
They
gonna
were-
fight to the death
They weren't,
against cops
they weren't genius.
with guns.
You know, be aware, these are all people that got caught.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna drop off.
All right. Yeah.
I use the
Well, see
washroom
ya.
again.
I guess I can
Bye.
stop recording at this point here.
Yeah, I think you have to end the call for that, right?
See